Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake. I'm your host, and we have our co-hosts here, of course, Chris and Stacy. And we have guests. Y'all know Ash. She's been on here a couple times. Mm-hmm. And we have guest Freddy. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Everybody's always good. I wonder if someday somebody's gonna be like, no, I'm doing bad. Horrible. Worst day ever. I've always wondered if that's just gonna happen sometime. Is someone like
Could.
Yeah, it could.
It could.
Yeah, I mean, when you're surrounded by good people, you know.
I mean, this is just mainly just a conversation anyway of friends. So
Yeah.
I refuse to be bad because I know the God that I serve.
Well, that's a good answer.
what about being naughty?
I
Sorry.
still serve the same God.
I'll say sometimes I say I'm tired.
Same, yeah.
So
Especially at work. It's like, how you doing? It's like, tired.
yeah.
I always tell people I'm always tired. That's the secret, Cap.
That's
I'm
right.
always tired.
I'm always hungry.
Yes.
That's funny.
Food. I haven't eaten supper yet. But I did go to the cafe for lunch. No, I just got a drink. Well, 2 drinks.
Always do there are.
A drink plus a drink equals 2 drinks. And that is the math for the day.
Oh, you got one from me. I see.
Well, sadly, I already drank out of it. Unless you want it.
No, I'm
that
good.
bad.
I'm playing.
Just take off the
I'm
lid.
just playing.
I mean, yeah, you can just pop the lid off.
Stacy made sweet tea for us tonight, so there's sweet tea at our house.
But is there lemonade? in it?
No.
Oh,
But I could get some lemonade.
there you
No,
go.
but there is fruit punch Kool-Aid. So
Fruit punch.
But not with
Which-
sweet tea.
you
Oh,
could
yeah.
you could mix it together.
Maybe a different
So I always
flavor.
did that at work. For like quite a while, I would mix sweet tea with, it was high C fruit punch, so not like fruit punch Kool-Aid, but I mean, it'd be basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not an AP then.
See,
It's like,
she's not drinking the Kool-Aid.
you're not wrong.
Well, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid either, for the record, but
I have been told if you take bits of chicken and put it in a bag with Kool-Aid, it makes great catfish bait.
I believe it.
I've heard that
Interesting.
too. Yeah.
Never tried it, and apparently purple, or I'm guessing it's grape flavored. I always go by colors. The purple Kool-Aid works the best. That's what I've been told. Purple or red.
Huh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
See, if I make
We listened
Kool-Aid,
at the exact same time.
if I make Kool-Aid, it's extremely unhealthy because I basically just take the 1 pound bag of sugar and
I mean, that's the
Pour
only
that
way
in.
to make it.
yeah. I hate people. All right, we're gonna add 1 cup to this giant pitcher. No, just pour that in until it stops dissolving. Then you're good.
Right.
If you can't taste the diabetes, you've done it wrong.
Exactly. You know, for all us
true.
scientific people, we make a super saturated solution of the Kool-Aid mixture. And it's
Hilarious.
perfect.
My gosh.
Super saturated.
Yeah. Did you ever do that? Like make a
Oh,
super
yes.
saturated solution, like superheat it, and then like say you overdo the salt in the water, then you just drop 1 speck of dust and just crystal. It's super cool to see.
I used to make rock candy at home, so I understand super saturated.
My sister used to do that a long time ago. We haven't done that in forever. Or
fun.
we'd make like the cookie sheet deals of candy and then just smash it with a hammer to break it to bits.
Breaking
Fun.
stuff is always good.
Yep.
Fun.
I mean,
Especially if it's, supposed to be broken.
Sometimes
Yeah.
even if it's not supposed to be broken, that's fun too. Like when we smashed a car last summer.
that was awesome.
That would be very fun.
Are you going to come back for that this summer?
Oh, yes. I might be donating my car for it. The little egg beater. Yeah.
Oh, then you're definitely going to have to smash the heck out
Oh,
of
yeah.
that.
There's going to be some, yeah.
I'll make a war hammer for you to do that with. That's what I'll have to do.
hammer.
I'll make a war hammer.
Sold.
Nice.
Thorn's hammer.
That's really heavy though. I think
Only if
somebody
you're
out
not worthy.
somebody out there on YouTube did one. They made it like with super strong magnets. So if only they would like held it certain way, and then it would release the magnet. So they kept pranking people.
That's fun.
Nice.
Oh. So, what's everybody's happy
Yes.
crappies?
My crappy.
Oh, let me get you. There we
My crappy is that I only got a few hours of sleep last night. So I'm very tired. I'm kind of goofy today.
go. Some bass. Anybody else hearing that?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
cow!
Yeah. So I worked from home today because we're doing our gaming weekend.
Yep.
And I forgot to take the day off. And then with all the weird stuff that's been happening at work, I I just said, I'm just going to work from home. But it was a nice, quiet day, so I got stuff done around the house and got my work done. So,
Stacy, what's our gaming thing called?
Schumpmeister lease.
I really wish I wasn't hunting this weekend. So I could come.
Just go.
Well,
Unless after dark, if I don't get one, then I can just swing through.
I'll say
We'll be there.
We're still doing it on Sunday, too, after church. So,
Well, if I don't get one tomorrow, I will be hunting on Sunday. So I need food. All right. Sorry to interrupt you.
but, no, you're good. So, yeah, if you get what you need, swing by later and you can come play with us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
How's your boss? I know you mentioned him on the last podcast. So.
That is my happy for the week. He is
Sweet.
doing a lot better.
Yes.
He definitely has some issues from it, but he's doing a lot better, and we're just continuing to pray for him. And I talked to him today, and he sounded really good. Definitely has some problems with some words and a little bit of the processing, but he's fine. And I think he understands things well. I think
Awesome.
it's and his memory's good because he even remembered that we're moving to Omaha. So, and that was a fairly recent thing that I told him. It was like the day before he had his stroke. So,
Yeah. Did they call it a stroke?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because that blood clot or whatnot. Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, he's doing really well.
Hallelujah on that one.
Yep.
That's good.
Yes. Hallelujah on that one.
Hey, Chris,
Yes.
what's your happy?
You can go.
Or
With,
your crappy?
you can go with other people if you'd like.
Okay.
I
How
do
about
have
this?
one.
We can go to our guests real quick.
Yay.
Mine was good. Just really hectic at work.
Yeah, hectic at work.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
No, it isn't.
Although it makes your day go by a lot
Yeah, it,
faster.
it does. I don't know, sweetie.
Yeah.
It just with the carts. You're like, I get no help.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want. They don't want to help me. I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you have to just take the initiative on that.
Yeah.
Just get her done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley knows about that.
Yeah.
Anything good?
Just hanging out with these guys.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging out's always a good
Yeah.
thing.
All right. Yeah, I mean, my crappy's just been, kind of work. It's just been struggling a lot lately. It's been starting to get a little better, though, so that's nice. Things are starting to look up. But, yeah, it's been a hard, probably like month or something at work of me and one other person especially have been closing by ourselves, like, pretty consistently about once or so a week. And so, not been fun, but yeah, I mean, my happy is just I have this weekend off to just kind of relax, game with friends and stuff. So
Heck yeah.
it'll be nice.
We should have had her on last month with that sweater she's wearing.
Oh, yeah, right?
It's an
And I'm still in the
awesome
Halloween
sweater.
spirit.
It's an awesome sweater. Are you wanting to go last today, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Since normally I try to go last and I forget about myself. So
I got you, bro.
So true.
my crappy, I'm gonna go 2. For some reason, I've always got this thing in the back of my head, even though I know it's not true, that I'm just gonna get fired. I don't know why. It's always there, even though I know it's not gonna happen. I do my job, I get stuff done.
Yeah.
But always just like, if I'm sitting down for 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna get fired. I don't know why. It's just there.
Oh.
But my hand right here is held together with super glue right now because I sliced it pretty good at work.
Nice.
Yikes.
So I was sitting there and felt it, looked down, and then it was like it was talking at me. It's like I could have done a puppet show with it. So I just flattened my hand out, alcohol wiped, and super glued that thing closed. So I'm going to count that as my crappy. Kind
Glue always
Yeah.
fixes everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At least it's not duct tape.
Yeah, I don't know how much glue I used when I worked at John Deere. I had it all the time. Just tubes of that in my top drawer of my toolbox. Happy? Well, I'm always happy when I'm here doing this. And I'll be deer hunting tomorrow. So I've been having fun with my new toy that I showed you last week.
Did you clean up the trees at your house?
I did a good portion of that a few weeks ago. I haven't been back to doing that because the rest of it's out behind where you can't really see it. So not too terribly worried, but I will get back on that here eventually. But before I do that, I'll probably end up working on my son's room again because I need to finish running electrical and drywalling it. I hate drywall.
It sucks. It's heavy.
Yes. Well, like the part that I hate the most is sanding.
Oh yeah, the sunny
You get
part.
that dust everywhere.
In your
Yeah.
face.
And I have to wear a mask because of my
Yeah.
asthma. It just kills it.
I know a guy that if you don't want to do it, he might do it for you for like close to nothing.
Well, Brad said he would help me if I asked
Okay.
him. So,
I'll say
but
one of-
more than likely, I'm going to do it by myself just because I'm one of those people.
One of the guys we game with that's what he does. He drives
Yeah.
balls for a construction company.
So he'd make me look like crud when he come to mudding.
Probably. I don't know.
I've watched those videos. Those guys sitting there just spread the mud right off, and it looks perfect, seamless. And me, I try to do that, and it looks crappy. Or I'll just take the mud right out of the joint. Pain in the butt. All right, Chris, what's your happy crappies?
Let's see. My crappy is I had to listen to
Our last podcast. I know I did horrible. I'm joking.
hardcore gangster rap that they kept dropping the N-bomb in all day
Ooh.
and swear words in a place that's not supposed to have that. So, but my happy is I don't have to deal with that anymore because today's my last day. Woo-hoo.
I think I liked your Facebook post on that because I knew you'd be happy for
Thanks. Yeah. I was pretty jazzed about that.
awesome sauce.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to not have to be around the negativity stuff. Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, and odds are none of them are probably listening, but they were getting high in the walk-in too at work.
Really?
I'm allergic.
They were on the devil's lettuce?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Good times.
At work. Yeah, that's wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that happens more in fast food than you'd like to know.
Oh, yeah.
I say I know, not with fast food. Well, I'm sure maybe with fast food as well, but like fine dining and stuff too. It's pretty common in the industry that like the cooks are like have substance abuse
Oh, yeah.
issues with, just whatever, like different substances and stuff.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
You said like you watch Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
Some of those guys look like they're pretty methed up half the time.
I mean,
I
even
wouldn't wanna
Gordon
be-
himself has talked about he had substance issues
Yeah.
when he was younger.
I think when he has episodes where he's at prisons or whatever, and that's one thing he's always talking about to people. That's like, even though he's at where he is, he did have those issues too
Yeah.
when he was younger.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be on drugs around Gordon Ramsay.
Oh gosh. Yeah. No.
That's a
You can make some pretty creative insults with it, I'm sure.
Oh my
that's a
gosh.
two-sided coin. Like I'd love to work in a restaurant with Gordon Ramsay because the man's amazing. At the same time, I wouldn't want to work in the restaurant with Gordon Ramsay because
You
he'll
know-
let you know when you drop the ball.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to screw up in one of his restaurants.
Donkey. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Puts the loaf of bread on that one on each side of that one gal's head. What are you, an idiot sandwich?
So funny. I've been watching a
Gordon.
lot of just like compilations and stuff of one of his shows, and it's so funny. I love the insults and stuff that he comes up with.
They're very creative. And
hilarious.
then you get to the kid shows, and he's not mean at all to
I
him.
know.
He's totally encouraging. Switch to the adult.
Right.
Yes.
Like, kind of reminds me of how the drill sergeants would act if Gordon would just throw the knife hand in there with it. That'd be perfect.
It's a difference between somebody that should know better and, somebody that doesn't know better because they're
Exactly.
young.
Yep.
I love the one clip I saw where it was a young male contestant hitting on Gordon's daughter.
Oh no.
And Gordon was just like
Wow.
laughing and like saying his name over again. Just stop it. It was hilarious.
That's big brass ones right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid's got more gall than I'd ever had.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay and Eminem, two people you do not want to mess with, like their children and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
You said Eminem?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure I heard right. Yeah, I wanted the diss tracks he'd come up with on you. No.
Or worse.
Well, I don't know about
He's
that.
got a lot of street cred. I imagine.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think he's actually going out there doing that stuff. Not anymore.
I was gonna say maybe back in the day.
Maybe back in the day. Back like when the song that I always liked was it coming cleaning out my closet was one of my
That is a
jams
really
back
good
in the
one.
day.
We can't play it because of copyright issues.
True.
But, listeners can, look it up.
Yes.
You can
you
certainly go to YouTube and look up the song yourself. Just be warned, it's above PG-13.
Yes.
All right, who's got questions?
I've got questions.
Thankfully, Thankfully.
I've got 3 of them.
I was not prepared for this at all, really, today. I mean, I looked up the certain stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about that I had to deal with this weekend. But yeah, I'm glad you have questions.
Okay. I think everybody here at the table likes Pokemon.
No.
Got to catch them all, man.
So, what's your favorite Pokemon
Charizard, hands down.
and why?
Dragon, fire. He's epic. It's just all, and then the attitude he had against Ash for the longest time.
His Charizard.
Tell me what to do.
His Charizard, yeah, that is an awesome arc in the anime. The arc that Charizard goes through with him, where he starts with a Charmander and what that Charmander went through, and then why he has an attitude, and then how it gets resolved at the very end. Very, very good arc.
Yep. And I love that also. He would never let Ash get to the point of like being really hurt. He'd always be like, okay, fine, I'll stop being stubborn and save you. Situation.
Yeah,
Aw.
because he cared about him. He just
Yeah.
had a hard time showing it because of past abuse.
Yep.
No.
So,
Reminds me of one of my friends,
okay.
Matt Nichols.
Does he have a tail
okay.
that's on fire?
Maybe. I can't confirm or deny that. I actually could. He does not have a tail that's on fire.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's good.
my favorite Pokemon is Vulpix, and it's because Vulpix is cute. I like Vulpix from the first time I saw Vulpix in the anime, and then I found out that it was an exclusive. I don't remember whether it was red or blue. I think it was red. No, maybe it was blue. I don't remember. I found out it was one of the exclusive Pokemon in Red and Blue back in the day, and I actually got my Vulpix, and I was so super happy to have my Vulpix. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Vulpix was a.
Speaking of,
Are you catching one
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
right now? Yep. I always loved its evolution, the Ninetales.
Ninetales is really cool, but Vulpix is so freaking cute. I would love to have a little tiny pet fox that could shoot fire out of its mouth. Yeah.
That would
I'm
be
all
cool.
in.
the things we could do with that Vulpix.
Yeah. It'd be cool. You could roast marshmallows.
Yes, marshmallows.
could start-
That's what I was
You
You could
referring
start
to.
fires.
Totally what we do. Roasting marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot Pockets, yes.
Well, yeah, you could cook all kinds of stuff, but you could also like start campfires. That'd be nice.
Yes, campfires. That's it.
All right. Who's next? Pokemon? Wow.
Wow.
Oh, where the nose goes in it right now?
That's right. I kind of have a toss up between Pikachu and Squirtle. I really like them both.
In my head, I was sitting there, she was going to say Squirtle.
Yes, so with Pikachu, I mean, it's just classic. Like, Pikachu's just really cute, and like I love the like electricity power and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. And then with Squirtle, I'm obsessed. I love turtles, so it's just perfect.
I wish I had the button that goes, I like turtles.
Right.
Not me.
I have a
Sorry.
pet turtle, like actually.
You
But I don't
did
have it
or
right now.
oh, okay.
I have it. Yeah, I don't. It's not with me right now. It's at my dad and stepmom's, but I gotta get it.
Freddy, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Sure. I got a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's hard for me to choose. Two, although I think I have an answer.
Let's say Charmander about equal as Charizard for me. That's why I have him on my visor. Or rearview mirror, whatever it is.
The one I really like, he's always on his 4 legs. He has little stripes.
What color is he?
Kind of yellowish, kind of. This one here.
Oh, Growlithe.
Growlithe.
Yeah,
Oh,
Growlithe.
Growlithe is
Oh.
awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wall former Growlithe.
Yeah.
Arcanine?
Yeah.
Or I don't know how everyone else pronounced it. I always pronounce
Arcanine.
it Arcanine.
It's Arcanine,
Arcanine.
yeah.
The Juggernaut. Yeah.
I actually like that new form too of his.
The Galarian one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
really cool.
Pretty cool. I don't like the Growlithe much, but I like the Arcanine.
I like the Growlithe and not the Arcanine. That's good.
I don't like the new Meowth that has this weird beard thing.
Yeah.
And it's
It
like, I don't
really
know if
does.
it's beard or just flesh with hair on it, and she's got a lot of it just hanging down, jiggling.
Some of the new forms of Pokemon are just a little weird, I have to admit.
Yeah, like there's one that's a musical note, one that looks like trash. It's
Yeah.
yeah, that one right there.
Yeah.
That's the
It's got this
Galarian Meowth
weird-
for those who are viewing at home.
Yeah.
There's this one.
Yeah, a candle.
Candle.
Weird.
Litwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
literally has a lit wick.
Right.
Yep.
You've never guessed that I'm playing Pokemon, no Pokemon stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured usually when I'm going through like putting TikToks up and I see you, you're paying attention, but then you look down, you got the phone. Just I'm like, he's on Pokemon.
I'm on Pokemon.
Totally.
Almost every time I'm on Pokemon Go, yeah. Because I am a sucker for it. Speaking of Pokemon Go, favorite Pokemon? It's really hard, but I'm going to have to go with Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime.
Even though he's not a water type, water types are my favorite. I just like Mr. Mime.
Weak. I mean, yeah. Yes.
You know how Charizard's got that little flame on his tail, right? Water type put that right out. Bye, Charizard.
I saw a meme today. It was like kind of one of those like offshoot memes where it was Ash with a Pidgeotto. Then he's facing a Charmeleon, and Charmeleon's doing stuff, and Ash goes, Pidgeotto, aim your gust at his tail.
Yes.
Went to the trailer like,
That's, yeah.
Yeah. I've got an interesting fact about Pidgeotto.
okay.
So, in the Japanese version of Pokemon, Pidgeotto and Pidgeot's names are reversed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you listen to in the early anime, when Pidgeotto says his name, he says Pidgeot instead of Pidgeotto.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The names are reversed. I don't know why they changed them in English. It just seems really weird.
We do everything
Right.
weird in English. So.
Yeah, but they swapped them for some reason.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you go back and you watch the anime, Pidgeot, I think is, Pidgeot says Pidgeotto and Pidgeotto says Pidgeot, if they didn't go back and fix it, because they may have.
That is
But
true.
originally they said the opposite names, and I thought it was really weird, and then I looked it up and found out that the names are opposite in Japanese.
You just reminded me of something. You know that band Florida Georgia Line?
Yeah.
You know, remember that song Cruise they came out with?
Cruise, yeah.
Baby You a Song, you make me want to roll
Yeah.
windows down a cruise. When they first released it, it said Crows. And then it disappeared for like a week, and then they re-released it as Cruise. And annoyed the heck out of me because they were playing the crud ton out of it on the radio.
Huh.
You're like, it make me want to roll my windows down and crows. It's like, no. You're just going to sit there going, "Rah!"
Noted. I will do that tonight. Somebody rolls down the window. I'm going to do that to the driver.
A few friends and I, we used to take my nephews with us around and just let them have fun because they were kids. No dads. But we'd sit there, we'd roll down the window and start barking at people. In Kearney, we just barking at people. You know, weird, stupid, just out of high school stuff.
He, in the summertime, if I leave him in the car when I go in somewhere, he will bark.
I pretend to be the dog in the car, so people will be. I'll sit there and people come over.
I'll come back to the car and he's barking at me.
Yeah, I'll go. Bark, bark, bark.
It's great when I have somebody with me that has never seen him do it before because they're totally unprepared.
Oh, that's epic.
Yeah.
Never a dull
Awesome.
moment.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to go next with their
Funny.
next question?
I've got two more, but I don't have to go next.
Chris, you said you had one.
Okay, mine's going to be real easy for us because if you don't have an answer, I'm going to question who you really are.
Oh, I can answer your question from last week. If you can remember this one. Sorry. I did the quiz.
Oh, okay, alignment
I
quiz,
did the
yeah.
quiz, the alignment quiz. Your question is like what our alignments are.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm true neutral.
Wow, that's super rare.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It says I'm true neutral.
Most people don't fall in that category.
Those
Like-
type of characters are hard to play too.
Interesting.
Does that throw you for a loop a little bit?
It's so rare. Yeah, you're like O negative kind of in the blood type spectrum. It's a really rare setup.
Doesn't feel strongly one way or the other when it comes to good versus evil or law versus chaos. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of about right. Yeah.
Huh.
So I finally answered your question
Well,
from
thank
last
you.
week. So yeah,
appreciate
sorry. I
That
got
was
excited
worth the-
there.
It was worth the week of waiting because that's an awesome answer. My question to all of you and those of you at home, if you wish to,
Put it down below in the comments.
what is your favorite color?
Oh,
This could get complicated for some people, not gonna lie.
That's
Sean
true.
and I have had major discussions on this.
Freddie, what's yours?
Mine's like purple
Okay,
Heck yeah.
he's
I like-
representing.
and kind of goldish.
Yeah.
Little, like my school colors. There we go.
See, once Harbor Freight comes out with their new mechanics tool cart, and I think it's February, they're coming out with a purple one about the same purple as
Yeah.
your shirt. I want to get it. I have a green right now, but everybody else has green too.
Somebody answer next.
Yeah, I mean, mine is also purple. I loved it for like ever. It's also, I have Turner syndrome, which is why, and obviously everyone at home can't really tell because of sitting on chairs and stuff. I'm only 4'8.5" because I have Turner syndrome, which is like makes me short and everything. And our like symbol for it is a purple butterfly.
I
Huh,
didn't know that.
that's very cool.
I could see you riding like a purple Sportster, like a shortened Sportster, like the kind of a 1200, the ones that are like more laid back.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Could be fun. Could be fun.
I kind of have two. I like a bright green and then a more neutral green.
Okay. But mostly green.
Yeah, mainly greens. Like if you notice, you'll see me walking around. I do a lot of greens or kind of darker colors like this, but
Yeah.
I do wear a lot of green.
Yeah,
Nice.
my favorite color is blue. And I can answer for Chris. His favorite color is blue.
Well, that's real easy for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What colors should we do? Let's do blue.
Yeah. If you ever want to buy us a gift, just buy something blue, and we'll be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this is cool."
Yeah.
Thanks.
I like the lighter blues and he likes the darker blues. But, you know, we're both good with blue just in general.
Yeah. Interesting thing about blue, you know how Hunter's orange or like that, my case over there, that color of orange pops out to humans. Like you can see that from a long ways away. Blue is the same way for deer.
Not know that.
And I read an article on it today. So it's like if you wear blue jeans when you're out there, they're going to see you from a long ways away.
Huh.
It makes sense.
Yeah, they're 20 times more sensitive than we are to it.
It makes sense because everything that they look at is, for the most part, is like greens and browns.
Brown.
Yep.
Sure.
And the sky is the only thing that they'd look at that's a totally different color in
Yeah.
in nature, really. Aside from like plants, but that would be smaller things. So yeah, it makes sense that blue would be something that they would be like, "What the heck is that?"
Well, it's kind of got me wondering too. Like, do coyotes kind of have a blue hue to them? Because coyotes would be one of their main predators in our area. Because mountain lions, they're the color of the grass, the prairie grass. So
Yeah,
they're not going to be spotted. But coyotes kind of have some blues to them and grays.
it's like
and
a
all that.
blue-gray. Yeah,
So I bet you that pops out to them like crazy.
yeah.
Too bad we
Could
can't
see
make
it.
headlights blue.
I hate blue headlights so much.
But I mean, it'd be good for the deers.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I can't see them.
That's fair.
For me, it's blue lights. I can't. They're super bright to me when they're facing me, but if I'm driving a car with it, I can't see anything. Even with my glasses on, because my stigmatism. But I still can't see it. I have to have a white or yellow light.
Interesting.
So yeah, tangent.
Yes, that was fun tangent though.
Yeah.
All right, Stacy, you have questions.
I do have questions. I have to look at the others because I don't remember what they are. Okay. What is the ultimate comfort food?
For you, for each of us personally,
Right.
not for you specifically.
Right. What is your answer to that question? That is what I'm asking.
Lasagna.
As long as the noodles aren't overcooked.
Right, a good lasagna. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had too many lasagnas where the noodles are like soggy almost.
People disappear if they make that for me. Hi, kid.
You make me a bad lasagna,
Yeah.
you're gonna capiche, you know what I'm saying?
Introduce you to the family.
You're gonna
Oh
feed
my
you to the
God.
fishes. You're gonna wear the cement shoes down to the bottom of the water, huh? All right.
I think
don't really
mine
know.
might be my mom's. My mom makes this German spaghetti, and it is so good.
Looks like it got sausage in it, or what's
Yeah,
it
so
do?
it's I mean it's just regular like spaghetti noodles. You've got tomato sauce, like your like tomato like pasta sauce,
Yeah.
and then there's diced tomatoes, like ground beef, sausage, bacon. There's like little bits of onion in it.
Sold.
Yeah, I'm
she-
down. I'm game right now.
Yeah,
Let's
it
go.
takes forever to cook. It's like an all day thing for her, but it's so good. And she so like you kind of cook everything separate a little bit, and then at the end you bake it all together, and it's just
Oh man.
it's so good.
That sounds fantastic.
Yep.
I'm gonna go extremely easy. It's those 99-cent boxes of mac and cheese, a couple of those, and then some ground beef in there, and a little bit of ketchup on top of it. That's mine.
Chris is like blasphemy. Oh my
Just
god.
start throwing holy water at me.
Pretty much.
I realize it's your opinion, and I respect that. But I make an amazing mac and cheese, and
I'll say mac and cheese is kind of a sacred thing for him.
I hold it on a tier.
Yeah, we had this conversation earlier while you were at work talking about how picky you are with your mac and cheese. So if you add anything to mac and cheese, for the most part, it's not mac and cheese, it's a casserole, according to Chris. Now, bacon is one of those exceptions, and once in a while, he'll allow something else. But most of the time, it's got to be just pure mac and cheese. Otherwise, it's a casserole. Doesn't matter what you're adding to it.
See, normally when I make mac and cheese, I do about 4 or 5 different cheeses. I like to do a lot of white cheeses for mine. Though. And Shawnee, she'll do like the really thick, creamy yellow cheeses and stuff like that. That's how she makes hers. So she doesn't like mine as much because it's not cheesy enough. But I like the flavor it gives, especially if you add, ground burger to it.
No, hey man, it's your choice. I get it, and I wouldn't be like, well, I'm not eating that. You know, right? That's
No.
that's below my standard. Yeah.
It's below the standard of
He
my
just-
power.
He just wouldn't consider it mac and cheese.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I feel like it's food. It's yum.
Yeah, I mean he'll eat mac and cheese with other stuff in it, but it's a casserole according to
Yeah,
Chris.
in my mind, that's casserole.
Yeah.
So even if you don't put it in like a baking pan, it's in a pot, it's still a casserole to you.
If it's noodles and cheese, butter, milk, it's mac and cheese. Bacon sometimes. Anything else in there, it's casserole.
Yeah, I know.
Soccer.
This is what I deal with.
Oh, come on. This is the one thing that I'm like, don't touch my mac and cheese.
It's so funny. We had this conversation earlier today, didn't we?
I love mac and cheese, and so I'm very picky on that. Otherwise, I'm like, it's food. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've always loved mac and cheese with like little kind of hot dogs into it. Is another kind of comfort food to me. I love it.
I make mac and cheese. I add some milk to it to make it really
Yeah.
creamy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I add Cheetos.
Cheetos?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a good
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Because you buy the bag, you can crush it, turn
Yeah.
it into a
Yeah.
powdery
Yeah.
substance to it.
I think I would try that. Definitely
Yeah.
get buy the crunchy Cheetos, break
The
them
hot
a little
ones,
smaller,
though.
throw them in. Yeah,
The
that's
hot
what I
ones.
was thinking. Like
Yeah.
the flaming.
Yeah, the flaming hot
one.
ones.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah.
make my world famous mac and cheese sometime and let you try it.
There's actually a Cheetos mac and cheese that kind of tastes like Cheetos, and it says on the box, to add extra flavor, you can crush up Cheetos and put on top of it.
There's
Yeah.
actually hot.
They sell it at Super Saver.
Yeah.
I think I would
I get
bake
that,
it if
yeah.
I did that. Put crush it and put it on top. I think I'd bake it a little bit after
Yeah,
that.
and it's actually pretty good. We've had the Cheetos mac and cheese before.
There's mac and cheese, hot mac and cheese. I have that at work.
Yeah, they do. They have the
Yeah.
hot. I think they have the jalapeno
The
cheddar too.
We have the jalapeno the hot. We have all different
And
kinds.
then the regular mac and
Yeah,
cheese.
the
Yeah.
regular mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my answer for the comfort food, ultimate comfort food, is a good burger. It has to be a good burger.
Did you ever
A good burger.
A good burger,
good
not
burger.
a good burger like the
welcome
movie.
to Good Burger?
Yeah,
Well,
no.
Good Burger. Can
No, it just has to be
Tijuana.
a good burger. Yeah.
I've never seen that show or movie.
Yeah, right. Really?
Yeah,
How
legit.
have you not seen
I
that
skipped it.
show?
Yeah, I skipped it too. I've just seen the clips.
You guys should watch on Paramount Plus.
Seriously.
Like
I haven't seen it either.
blasphemy.
I think it's on
love Good
Paramount Plus.
Yeah. They're coming out with a number 2.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
You need to watch it, Chris.
You
gotta watch the
Stacy.
first one.
Oh, I've heard this.
Yeah, the first one. I love Good Burger.
We'll sit and watch it.
Is it-
My
I've
wife
heard a lot
thinks
of
it's
good things
stupid,
about it.
but I love it.
It's funny.
There's a place. What the heck is it called?
Cheers.
It's a good show. In Lincoln near Shields, there's a burger joint not far from it where they do like
Red Robin.
no, they do like Wagyu burgers.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. This is bothering me. I'm sorry. I brought it up. I should have
I say,
Googled
do you
it
know
before
where
I brought it up. You can literally walk to it from Shields. It's just like if you're looking at Shields, you walk to the left and you go down a little street and it's right there.
Is it to the east?
I don't know my direction.
Okay.
Well,
You must do
I must
research
goggle it and go to Dr. Google here.
because I used to go down in South Point all the time when I lived in Lincoln, so I know that area fairly well.
There's a great burger place in Kearney called Angus Burger.
Yes.
Charred burger. Sorry.
Charred burger.
Yeah, charred burger. It's called charred burger. I recommend highly. And they'll do like a tater tots, or they'll make them like nacho style, but they're so good.
Oh.
They're super good.
Yeah.
I mean, tater tots are just delicious.
Yeah, I love tots.
Gosh, I wish I
that's
had to
your-
go to Lincoln sometime soon.
Are you? What's going on here? I feel out of the loop.
Well, we'll be passing through Lincoln. soon.
Yeah, I think it's just going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's charred burgers in Omaha.
Is there a chart in Omaha?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Straight up, it's probably the best burgers I've had at a restaurant. Is at that place. in
Noted.
Lincoln.
I love burgers. That's, yeah. If I could eat anything every day, that would be it, and that would not be healthy.
Oh.
Diabetes.
One of the best burgers I made. Yeah. And they're huge too from Chard. They're big when you
Oh,
get them. Like
that
that kind of
looks
looks like a
delicious.
small picture, but they're giant.
Looks
They're
delicious.
not small at all.
See, you look at the picture, it looks small. Till you get it, they're
Yeah. Oh, they're so
Yes.
good.
Oh,
The one I had a bunch of cheese inside of it.
Oh yeah.
Like all melt. Oh,
Let's go.
yeah. We do that when we make
Road
burgers.
trip.
When we make burgers
All of
at
us.
home, we'll stuff them with cheese sometimes. We've done feta cheese and
Boba Fett.
pepper jack and just all kinds of different cheeses.
I think one of the best burgers I ever made. It had pork sausage, deer burger, beef, and what else did I throw in there? I think maybe I threw in some turkey burger too and mixed it all up. And then I cooked it out of George Foreman,
Nice.
and it was awesome. Probably one of the best ones I've ever done. I haven't done it since, but one of my friends, he'll bring that up every now and again because he was stuck at my house. We had that ice storm / blizzard we had. Gosh, I hate that. I'm gonna say it's like 14 years ago, maybe 15. I don't remember. But when like all Nebraska was out of power, I feel really old now talking about that 'cause I was like junior high. I'm sorry, Chris, but I feel really old now for saying that. But we were stuck out of my house for a week and ran out of food.
That's fair. I was snowed in.
I heard that.
Did you? I heard that too. It was
Your phone buzzing.
I was snowed in at the house that I grew up with my family for a month. We were snowed in.
Dang.
No power. The electricity went out. So
man.
we had a gas stove, which was nice.
Oh, okay, so at least you had that. I was
Yeah.
just going to ask if you had a wood stove or something.
No, but no electricity. So,
No bueno.
there were no video games. TV was just very minimal at that point. So you read games, you read books, played board games. Imagination, pretty much. Imagination.
Yes.
All right. Did you? Yeah, you said lasagna.
You said
Okay.
Lasagna. Yeah.
I say, did everybody answer? I can't remember.
I like a
You said
medium
German.
lasagna, and I like it with ricotta
Yes.
versus cottage cheese. I
Yes.
like ricotta.
Ricotta's where it's at.
I'm not sure if Freddie said his or not. I know we were talking about mac and cheese. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was.
Is that you? Yeah. What's your comfort food, bud?
Mine's like burgers, hot dogs,
Oh yeah.
meat, tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos. Yeah, I think
Because
that's
my-
got to be everybody's comfort.
Because my
food.
parents used to own a taco stand.
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said your comfort food, Stacy, right?
Yeah. Burgers.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I got on charred burgers.
Making
Yeah.
sure we're all on the same
Mine's
page.
everything.
Ooh,
Yeah, we took a side trip on mine.
what? A side trip here?
Yeah, we also took a side trip
I
on
do.
Jake's.
Going
we went
on
into
a
the-
trip.
Actually
in a
do.
little rocket ship. A little Einstein.
Yes.
I remember Little Einstein. One of my nephews was obsessed with it when he was a kid.
Never watched
Little.
it.
The show that I love
I
with my
just know
nephews.
the song just because of it becoming a big thing.
Yeah, it was a
on, like,
big TikTok thing. The people were doing the dances and stuff with
Oh,
it.
it was a cute learning show for kids. Really cute learning show for kids.
The little kid show I liked when my nephews were little was Wonder Pets.
Yeah,
Wonder
that was a
Pets,
childhood
Wonder
show of
Pets,
mine.
on
Yes.
our way. Wonder Pets,
I-
to save the
I've
day.
never watched Wonder Pets, but when I taught preschool, they used the Clean Up song, which I was told was from
Clean up,
Yep.
clean up,
Everybody
clean
Everywhere.
up.
Yep. Yep. Clean up, clean up.
We at raising at Canes, it's so funny. We don't really do it as much anymore. I'm kind of the only one, but it used to be there's a few of us. Anytime the phone rang, we'd always be like, the phone is ringing. It's amazing.
That's funny.
That is funny.
I'm pretty sure my nephew would walk away and I'd just sit there watching him. I do that with Bluey now. My son loves Bluey. He'll go off and do something. I'll sit there and keep watching it.
I need to watch that.
I've heard a lot of good things about
Bluey
that.
is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. You say something negative, you're watching the wrong episode of it. There's one called Unicorse where the dad is being extremely obnoxious, where he's got like a unicorn puppet. He's just doing all this stupid stuff and annoying the heck out of his wife, like really annoying her. She's like giving him the death glare and all that on there. And they really do the mom glare really well.
Nice.
So, I can't do it real well because I'm a dad.
Right?
Ooh, her hairball. But there was a deal I saw on TikTok with Bluey recently. Apparently, there was a scene that wasn't aired in the U.S. but still aired in Australia, to where they were Bluey's asking her dad a lot of questions, and then she was asking questions about babies because she had like a baby cousin or something. And she goes, "But how do the babies get in the mom's tummy?" And she's sitting on a swing, and the dad just goes, "Oh, there you go," and just starts spinning her. She's like, "Ah!" And he's just spinning her. I'm like, "Yep, I get it. I get it. I would do that."
How convenient. Is Bluey an Australian show?
I'm pretty sure it's Australian. It's either Australian or Kiwi.
British or something. Or...
Let me,
There's a big difference there, Jake. You should be careful.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Bluey Australian.
Get down under.
I don't remember.
Yes, Australian.
He's
Yeah.
from down under. Throw shit
I
on the ball.
think it's British. I think that's what I was kind of thinking of.
It says, "While some people think that Bluey is British, she's actually Australian.
Australian.
It can be hard to differentiate the accent sometimes.
Except I can't do a British accent, but I can do an Australian accent. Unless I go like really hillbilly British.
And see, I can't really do an Australian, but I can somewhat do a British.
Isn't hillbilly English Australian? Just kidding, Australians. I love you guys.
Oh my
The
goodness.
funny thing, I mean, Australia started out like as housing like the British like criminals and stuff. If anything, Australians gangster British.
Okay, fair.
There you go. I
Yeah,
like that.
I like that.
What English do you speak, gangster? English, gangster,
Oh my
British.
gosh.
And instead of pulling out a 9, they pull out a boomerang.
Oh, boy,
Yes.
it feels good to be a gangster.
I mean, look at all the different crazy animals they have to deal with. They're
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be pretty tough. Yeah,
Like, I want to go to Australia, but everything wants to kill you there.
right.
Yes.
Like even the kangaroos that look cute, they're just gonna come up and freaking boom,
They're
drop
so
kick you.
jacked. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the males are always coming up and be like, "Yeah, let's go." Okay, sorry. How do we get on Bluey?
Oh, good Lord.
I have no idea.
oh,
You were talking about that show you were watching.
Oh, Wonder Pets or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
did we
right.
go on
Wow.
something? Oh, because you started singing the little Einstein song.
Yeah.
We started talking
Yes,
There we
yes.
go.
kid shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
we've come full circle.
Did you have a third question?
I did.
Sweet. Let's
Let
hit
me
that one real quick.
Welcome to Talks and Crocs.
Okay.
Where the ADD hits hard.
This is a fun one. Is the glass half empty or half full?
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, I feel like it can kind of change sometimes.
Because if your fuel tank is half empty, it's half empty. No way is that half full. It's just
The glass is half full.
I'm still on the situational.
I'm an optimist.
Situational.
He's an optimist.
I am. Optimus Prime.
I'm a realist, but my answer's different.
I'm true neutral, so
That's
it's
fair.
the situation you're in.
My answer is the glass is full. Half of it is full of air.
Getting all science on it.
And you need air to breathe and to live.
Nah.
So, the half empty, half full,
I
all
want to go on
full.
another tangent here. They were doing studies a long time ago with a certain type of fluid, like a water-based fluid, to where they would fill the person's lungs with it, and then your lungs were able to actually extract oxygen from that fluid.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue was they'd get pneumonia when they try to get the fluid out to get it back to breathing normal air, and it was a military experiment.
I knew about that. I heard about
I
that.
feel like I'd somewhat heard about that too. Yeah.
Trying to get it to where divers didn't need oxygen tanks.
Yeah. That's smart.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because the bends are horrible.
There's actually a sci-fi movie that has the liquid oxygen. I don't remember what the sci-fi movie is, but they inhale it, or they put it in their lungs and then they cough it up later.
Right.
I think it's like a red color, if I remember correctly, or like a pink color.
So if you're at home and you know the answer, put it in the comments.
Yeah, I don't remember what movie it is. I think it's from the 90s.
I've seen it. I'd have to start Googling it.
At least somebody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't think
Were
I've
you
seen it,
telling
but
me
it
to
sounds
Google it?
interesting.
I mean, if you want,
If
go,
you
man.
want to.
Sci-fi movie. Okay, you guys keep going.
But yeah, I think the glass is completely full. That's my answer.
Glass half empty, half full.
Yeah, like I said, it somewhat changes, somewhat depends. Like, I always try and look at it as half full. Half full, but yeah.
Freddy?
Second.
Okay.
I was thinking, like, you drink half of your soda, you still have the rest of it still in it. They have half of it just air now.
Okay, fair.
Yep.
Was it The Abyss?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think so.
I thought
Yeah.
it was too, but I was like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yay, Dr. Google.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, anyone got any specific topics they want to discuss right now
Right now.
before I go into stuff?
I had 3 questions. That's all I brought to the table today. I did not have enough sleep to come up with more.
Yeah, I'm not going to have any
That's
sleep
fair.
tonight. I'm waking up at 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
drive an hour and 20 minutes to where I'm going to be
I'll
set
probably
up.
be up an hour after that.
Yeah. Why?
'Cause-
Because I wake up or Roscoe,
Oh,
and then I wake up.
yeah. That happened this morning. I woke up at 2:30 because I was having like a lot of drainage and couldn't go back to sleep. And then at 4, Roscoe did that and woke him up. And he's like, "Are you awake?" Like, yeah, since 2:30.
For those of you who don't know, Stacy sleeps like the dead,
Yeah.
and she usually, you can't wake her up no matter what noises you make.
Yeah. I usually sleep really heavy.
I
And,
have vacuumed in the same room, and she does not wake up.
yeah.
I would.
See,
I'm the person that you touch me, I come up swinging.
that's fair. That's fair.
Come right up swinging. You reminded me of a buddy of mine from we grew up, like, I moved back up here, and we went to 3rd grade to graduated together. He's one of those people. And we were in the same unit. We were staying in a hotel room once, and he would not wake up to his alarm because we were kind of partying the night before at the house bar in North Platte, and would not wake up to his alarm going off, and it was Blazing Saddles theme song.
Oh my gosh.
As loud
Okay.
as you could have it, and it just kept going and going, and everybody else is passed out. I'm like, so they're trying to like beat his phone on the counter, and I finally ended up tearing it apart because he would not wake up at all. He had it set for 5 hours before we had to get to formation.
Oh my
It's like,
gosh.
dude, no. It's like we just all got to sleep, and now your phone's going off. So don't set alarms when you're in a drunken state, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a super loud and annoying alarm to try and wake me up because otherwise when I was younger, when my parents would wake me up for school, they could literally just open up my door and I'd like wake up. But anymore, I struggle so hard, and I feel bad for my roommates.
My mom used to do this deal like wakey, wakey, eggs and jakey, and trying to tickle me on the
Oh my
neck or
gosh.
something. Oh, I hated it so much. So much.
I used to, when I was a teenager, 'cause I sleep so heavy, that my mom would come in and wake me up, and I would not be awake, but I would be talking to her, so she thought I was awake. And then I would lay down and go back to sleep, and then she'd come in when we were supposed to leave, and she'd yell at me because I went back to sleep, but I didn't actually wake up completely. I didn't remember it. And I would start, because she was yelling at me, I would start yelling back at her while I was asleep. And I would wake up in the middle of the fight.
And like, what's going on?
Yeah. I would wake up in the middle of the fight and I'm like, why are you yelling at me?
You're grounded. What did I do?
Yeah.
Apparently, I used to stand up and stare at people in my sleep. Just stand up, just like the whole the
Scary.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stare at them. Like I guess one time I was sleeping on a cot in the living room at my grandma's house, and my mom and her were talking in the middle of the night. And I guess I just stood straight up on the cot, turned and stared at them. She said for a solid like 5 minutes, and then laid back down.
That's funny.
I think I would freak out if some kid just did that, just stood up and just stared at me.
Yeah, that's
That would be
Alerting.
terrifying.
All right. So I guess this weekend I'm going hunting. I don't know if anybody knew that. I brought it up last podcast. So I decided to look up some stuff biblically about hunting for all those people that like hunting is murder and all this other stuff. Well, hunting, for one, it's throughout the Bible, of course. And also when they bring up the 10 Commandments, well, thou shalt not kill. It's actually translated to thou shalt not murder is the correct translation. And hunting is not murder. And I can go to Acts chapter 10 for that one, where, I don't know, did you get a chance to look at that yet? Acts chapter 10? I told you on Wednesday.
I know.
Fail. No, but
I
in
got
Acts
some
chapter
stuff
10.
going on.
Yeah, true. In Acts chapter 10, there Peter has a vision where he's basically speaking to Jesus, and there's a sheet that comes down, and all the animals are laid out in front of him. He says all the animals, like domestic, wild, the birds, reptiles, and he's been fasting. And there's a meal being cooked, or someone's starting to prep a meal, but he's like super hungry. And so God looks at him and goes, here, Peter, get up, kill, and eat. And Peter goes, I won't, because I won't eat anything that's unclean. And he goes, well, how can you call anything unclean that I've made clean?
Okay, yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's telling him to go hunt right there, take the animal, hunt it, eat it. Yeah. Suck it, people.
Yeah. Well, and God made clothing for Adam and Eve out of the skins of animals, which,
Yep.
what do you think happened to those animals? How did, you get the
They
clothing?
just went like, here, guys, you can take some skin off my forearm here. And there's some loincloth, Adam.
They
They
just-
got some warm.
They just gave up their
Yeah.
skin willingly and walked around
just
without it.
Just like, whoa, there it is.
Right.
Now I'm just muscles and skeleton now.
Right.
Look at me, terrifying.
Yeah. And I was told by farmers that your crops that you produce actually more animals are killed during harvesting the crops
Oh, yeah.
than are when you hunt. So all these people that are like, oh, vegan is so safe and it's so good and it protects the animals, it actually kills more animals than
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
So,
they gotta kill any pests or
Yeah.
any like
Yeah.
if the animals are destroying the crops.
right. And then during harvest, animals live in the crops, and you'll end up with deer that get hit. You'll end up with rabbits that get hit. You'll end up with all kinds of different animals that actually get caught up in the harvesting process and die during the harvesting process.
Now, mind you,
Yeah.
we're not hating on farmers. We're just
No,
bringing up what
no.
goes on in real. It happens.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's just part of life. But the anti-meat movement,
Yeah.
it's not as animal friendly as you think it is. In order for you to prevent any animals from being harmed, you'd have to do everything inside and keep all the animals out.
We'll dig underground bunkers and fill them with what's that called? I was just thinking about it. Hydroponics,
Yeah, hydroponics.
but it's
yeah.
extremely expensive to do, and you
Yeah.
don't get all the nutrients that you get out of naturally grown food.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I was just saying, that as when you're hunting and you're shooting a deer, you know, a big farm may take out several deer that are eating their crops, you know. So,
And I was just looking up random verses about hunting. And one of my favorites right here was from Proverbs 12, verse 27. The lazy do not roast any game, but the diligent feed on the riches of the hunt. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the Nimrod, who is apparently a great hunter, and it specifically says that right here with Genesis 10, 9 through 10, Cush fathered Nimrod. He was the first on the earth to be a mighty man. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. So, to be a mighty hunter, you're going to get put in the Bible.
yep.
Sorry, I got distracted.
You good?
How useless to spread in there. Okay, I don't understand that. I thought, okay, I don't know why I put that one there. It was about birds. And then one interesting thing I found when I was doing this, before Noah, it states everything ate plants. There was like no meat eating creatures. It was after the flood when we were allowed to start eating meat. So or when the other creatures were allowed to eat meat too. So around here, Genesis 9, it's then God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, all animals of the earth, not birth, all the birds of the sky and all the small animals that scurry along the ground and all the fish in the sea will look on you with fear and terror. I have placed them in your power. I've given them to you for food, just as I've given you grain and vegetables, but you must never eat any meat that still has the lifeblood in it. So it was after the flood when they were given all the animals finally. Which that movie Noah, they show that really well too, because the Noah, who was follower of God, he didn't eat any meat. He did a really good, I don't know what I'm allowed to say there, rendition or something, depiction
Edition, sure, yeah.
of showing that. I am going to give a story of a personal experience. Yeah, right here, Acts chapter 10. It's Acts chapter 10, verse 13, if anyone wants to look it up. And there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. And this one, I think, is a good one for hunters to take into consideration. The godly care for the animals, but the wicked are always cruel. And the reason I say that is when you hunt, you need to do an ethical shot or an ethical kill, because if that animal suffers, shame on you. The animal should never suffer,
Right.
Yeah.
ever.
And that's the other thing. If you're hunting for food, it's fine. But if you're hunting for sport and you're not going to use the meat, it's a waste.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Like, mainly for us, we eat a lot of venison, so we'll take, I don't know, this will be the first time I've hunted in November and forever. I normally do not hunt rifle season because there's a lot of crazy people out there that just go on private land and just start shooting things up. It'll sound like machine gun fire opening morning when you're out there. But the only reason I'm doing it this time is because we've got 3 pounds of deer burger left. And next season is January when we normally go hunting. And that's when you do a river and it's antlerless and you're just hunting for meat then. This time I'm kind of hoping for that big-bodied buck so I don't have to get more than one right now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I just want the one.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know you can make beef turkey.
Yeah, I'll do jerky sometimes. I haven't done it lately though. Mainly I'll keep what's known as the back straps. You get your steaks, really good steaks out of that, and then just burger everything else because I'll do a 1-to-1 with beef. and then you don't get that gaminess of the venison. Because I don't add like the pork fat or beef fat to it like a lot of people do. Because then you make an unhealthy meat. And deer is really healthy. It's really lean. And something I found out about, if they eat poison ivy, because deer can eat that, if they eat that and you eat the deer that eat that, you become kind of immune to the poison ivy.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that does kind of make sense.
Interesting.
I mean, it's just like when you're eating honey and there's the bits of the pollen in that, and you start getting less and less allergies. And then also earlier it talked about don't eat meat with lifeblood in it, so we can't have really rare steaks either. It's sad.
Well,
According to the Bible.
that's
I do medium rare.
I gotta say that's old covenant too.
Yeah,
So
I still drain them, let them hang for a while.
yeah.
But
I joke about eating rare meat, but
I know a guy that does, where the veins and stuff are still there. Like when he pulls that out and it starts pulling, it's like, ugh, I can't do it. It's like, what'd you do? Just throw it on there for 2 seconds each side just to make it legal?
Yeah.
My dad would joke if we would go out to eat for like a birthday or something. We would go to a lot of times like Texas T-bone or something. He would kind of joke about like, oh yeah, like literally like put it on, like and make it like as rare as you can. And I mean, I don't think he ever actually really got it that way. Like they always, obviously make sure to cook it a bit,
Right.
but. Yeah, he would always kind of joke about that too. Like, just make it as rare as you can.
Yeah, I've heard people say, "I want it while it still moves."
Yeah.
Yeah, still
Right.
mooing.
yeah,
That's my buddy.
yeah.
Yeah. He likes his burgers rare too. I'll take a medium rare burger. I'm not gonna do a rare one. Just can't do that. No, I'm not into tiger meat. You guys heard of tiger meat? What that is? So like you go up towards like the Loop City area. The old timers still do this. They'll just take raw burger and put milk on it and eat it with a spoon.
That's
Yep.
Weird.
that's very interesting. I
Whoa.
know in Ethiopian culture,
Yeah. Could you imagine the mush with that texture?
Now I gotta try it.
No,
no,
don't do it, please. Don't.
Oh, I got to now.
I don't want you getting sick.
now I know in Ethiopian culture they eat raw meat. They just they have it ground up, and I worked childcare at a couple Ethiopian weddings, and they had just raw meat. I don't have any idea what kind of meat it was, but it was ground, and they just scooped it on their plates and they ate it raw.
Huh.
Kids and adults both.
Interesting. I wonder. I wonder
I'd
if
have
it was
to-
goat or something.
I don't know. I'd have to Google it to see what kind of meat it was, but I know that it's a thing in Ethiopian culture.
I think my sister was saying about eggs and stuff. I think in China, they're just eating the eggs out of the shell.
Oh,
Like straight,
Just-
like yolk and stuff.
Yeah, the yolk and all that.
yeah. There are also different cultures that take the eggs after they've been fertilized and let the chicks grow a little
Oh
bit.
yeah. Is
And then
that
they
a Cuban thing?
I don't remember. Then they ferment them, I think, and
yeah.
cook them.
Look it up.
Yeah, yeah. It's a weird thing. I've never had it. Would not want to have it.
Yeah, because there's like a baby chick in there. That's
Yeah.
kind of like developed a little bit. And they still, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that crunch, the nasty goo. That would. Oh.
yeah, yeah. I don't know exactly the details on that or what type of food it is. I've heard people talk about it before.
Weird.
Yeah.
I know in like the Inuit culture there is. I don't remember exactly what kind of meat it is, but they have a raw. I almost want to say like whale meat or something like that.
Oh,
I don't think
seal?
that's probably- It could be seal.
Might be
maybe.
seal.
Yeah, I think they hunt a lot of seal up there.
They and they have a specific knife, like a specific
Ulu.
tool that they use to. Yeah, ulu, yeah. I say 'cause I know you talked about it
Bowie
before,
knife.
and that's what they specifically use that to like cut and like eat their meat and everything. But I know in Inuit culture, it's also very important to them that like they use every part
Everything,
of the
yeah.
Yep,
the animal.
Yeah,
it's very important.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I know for me, when I harvest the animal, I do all the like cutting up the meat, doing all the processing myself. I'll try to use like bones and stuff from them when I make handles and knives, because you're using more of the product. But one thing big I always do, I thank the animal and I actually say a prayer over the animal when I do that. It's like I feel bad. Like I think if you don't feel bad after taking an animal's life, you might want to go to a psychiatrist. I think you should always have that. Like no matter how long you've been hunting or harvesting game, you should have some sort of, I don't know, empathy for that. If not, I question it. And I don't really know if I want to hunt with you.
Yeah.
Because then I don't know if you're going to take ethical shots or ethically harvest. If you're, that's a big thing on me. That's one thing I'll definitely putting on my son. If he's going to hunt, he's got to be a one shot kind of person. Like Shawnee got her first deer last year and it was one shot.
Nice.
I think it moved like 10 yards and was down. She was using a lot smaller rifle than I was. Because mine were instant drops. But, yeah.
Yeah.
What am I hearing? Is anyone hearing a whirring?
I heard it too.
Yeah.
It sounded like a machine.
It was
Robots.
like a.
Yeah.
Except for it was a lot quieter than that.
The government. The government.
It sounds like a drill.
Yeah, kind of. I don't think anybody else is here, though. I haven't seen any lights.
I almost broke into a song when you said the government there, but it would not be good at all for.
He played
The
that
podcast.
song earlier.
Yes.
The Tenacious
just
D
before
song.
Yes,
You left.
I'll show you later. It's not.
See, the Tenacious D songs that are popping in my head would not be appropriate for this
Yeah,
podcast
no, it's
at all.
yeah, same level.
And I know them by heart. We used to sing a lot of Tenacious D whenever we drove from Litchfield to Kearney all the time.
We are the D. We are the D.
Yeah, that would be one of them.
There's I have to
Yeah,
be really
I
careful.
can't say the title of the one that we sang a lot because it's really not appropriate, and we still have a good rating. But
That's why I'm not saying anything.
so I'm going to go into a story here on how hunting for me was a spiritual experience. 2 years ago, like really big time. Like I don't know where you lean still, if you're still atheist on this stuff or not, but
Personally, yeah.
just humor me on this one, I guess. So we took my son to Kansas City for his birthday, and our freezer went out, and we had enough meat in there to equal, I'd say, 5 deer. So the whole thing went rotten, just horrible smell like he had catfish bait, and it was in the house. Like I reached in there, I'm just like, I'm gonna grab some stuff for supper, and it was warm, and then there was gooiness. So it was.
Oh no.
Just get that warm, gooey meat that just smelled horrible. So we ended up taking that straight outside and used a skid steer and hauled it out. And then I tried burning it, which was a mistake as well, because then you're just cooking that nasty catfish bait and it permeated everything. But so the next year we went deer hunting. This was like over 2 years of hunting. I accumulated that amount of meat. So we're out there. I had Shawnee with me. She wasn't hunting that year. She was just with me helping out. I think she may have had a rifle, but she didn't shoot one that year. But sitting there, I'm doing a lot of praying because I need to fill my freezer, get meat back in the freezer, and then a whole bunch of them, like was it 6 or 8? I talked about it with Dalton last season. Come walking out, and you get the shakes first off, so you got to calm down. So I'm setting up, got my rifle up there, thought I had a good shot, fired, and then I missed. They just took off running, and then all the deer stopped at once and turned broadside towards me, which is exactly how you'd want it. And I was praying hard before they ever came out. Turned broadsides towards me, shot once, down. It's like, oh wow, thank you God, all this stuff. And I was sitting there thinking, man, it'd be great to get another one just so we have more meat. And as I'm out there getting ready to bring that deer back in, they all walked out on me. There's 30-some deer come walking out. Then stood there, turned broadside, got it again. And that I had my tag filled. I couldn't shoot anymore. But then they come walking out again. I'm like, okay, God, I've got enough. I can't legally do this again.
Right.
But to me, it was an extremely spiritual experience because it's like we had this major need of food, and you don't get deer that just stop and turn broadside at you to where it's perfect angle.
Right.
Right, you get that perfect shot. That animal instantly was gone. It felt nothing. And then the same thing happening where they just walked out on me. Like I'm out there, plain as day, seeing me standing there. I'm not concealed at all.
Right.
I just shot. They should have all ran and been gone. But then they come walking out back on me and turn broadside. And I got that second one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they almost never do that.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was nuts. And then they come out again. And then it was starting to get dark. Sean was getting the truck. And I could see them all just standing there. And they were like within 20 yards of me. There's at least 40 of them out there that I counted.
But neither one of you could legally take the shot.
No. And you got to follow the government laws. It says that in the Bible too. You got to follow the laws.
God forbid.
Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and give
Yeah.
to God what is God's. And yeah, we're supposed to follow the laws as long as the laws don't contradict God's law.
I don't know why I'm shaking after telling that story because it was a big experience for me.
It's crazy when you see God open up the door like that. That's exactly what we went through with his job in Omaha. Getting that phone call, out of the blue, just, wild.
Look, you got stuff going through your mind there.
I'm just wondering how many people might hear this that might not know at this point.
Oh,
I don't know if it pops up as like one of the AI created TikToks that I've been doing. Then they might see it because apparently I'm popping up on everybody's For You page at work right now.
Nice.
Like, you're doing a podcast? Like, yeah. How'd you know? I said, well, it's on my TikTok. Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to announce it on Facebook. Everything that you know
Yeah.
on Facebook this weekend. Because I should be able to tell everybody that I wanted to tell in person by this weekend.
And everybody's gonna be like, oh, good for you. But that inside, they're going to be,
It's bittersweet for us. It really
Yeah.
is. Like, I see these two once, if not twice a week, and you, and it's hard because I'm like, man, I'm not going to, but at the same time, yeah, I still can. Yeah, it's bittersweet.
yeah.
I told Shauna we're going to have to go to whatever church you guys go to every now and again. And then, like, have lunch or
Let us
something
know. Yeah,
afterwards.
totally.
Yeah.
One of the guys that I worked with told me about a ramen place where they make Japanese ramen, not the little packages you buy in the store, real ramen. And he's like, you got to go down and try it when you're down there. I'm like, dude, yeah.
So I'm going
Yeah.
to run in there dressed up as Vegeta.
I know at one of the malls they've got a ramen place. I don't know if it's that.
Ooh, I
place or
wonder
it
if
might
it's
be
the
somewhere
same
else,
one.
but-
I don't know. The ramen place that he was showing me pictures from, it looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks delicious. The picture of the menu looked as though you get to basically pick what things go in your ramen. So you get to pick all your toppings.
Oh, this is near Raising Cane's.
So
And a Taco Bell. Let's go.
Yeah, there's Raising Cane's in the mall as well.
that's funny.
Look at that. Oh, that looks good.
Right?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Ashley.
I think for me, I'm too lazy to make a nice fancy ramen like that. I throw the packet in the bowl, throw the seasoning on it, heat it up for 3 minutes, and dump water out, and then just mow down. I'm lazy.
Not me. I'm like veggies and yeah, I throw all kinds of stuff in.
Crack the egg in the hot water, let it
I've
cook.
never done that.
Oh,
I
you haven't
should.
done that one? Apparently that's one of the big things.
Yeah, I think your mom does that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I don't like eggs.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here's the story. I was preschool age, 2 years old maybe. I saw a chicken hatch out of an egg. My mom said I ate eggs just fine before that. They make me gag now. It's totally in my head. I know the difference between
Yeah.
an egg and a chicken in an egg, as an adult, but they still make me gag. The texture makes me gag. I like the taste of eggs, but the texture makes me gag. So I do not eat eggs typically if they're, not mixed into a pie or a cake or,
Stir fry.
stir fry. That's a little bit different. The texture is different in fried
what about
rice.
okay, I was going to bring up fried
Let's say,
rice.
yeah, the texture in fried rice is not that harder texture. So, yeah, I have a hard time with eggs.
Okay, here. I'm going to bring up something Okay, don't autoplay, you stupid computer. Make sure I'm connected to Bluetooth. So I'm going to play something. Chris, you saw it earlier, that video I posted. I don't want to get thoughts on it.
Oh, was it the one
Oh,
you tagged us in?
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys in it?
I don't know. It was a couple days ago.
Oh, this one was this morning.
Oh, okay.
11 hours. I'm going to play it and get people's views because I think it's a main question a lot of people ask to Christians. And I think the guy gives a great answer. Yeah, that one. See if I got it turned up too loud and it blows everybody's ears out.
Hey, let's
Right.
prepare.
3, 2, 1. Here we go. Blow our ears.
If you are such a loving,
Oh.
good God, why do you do nothing about the suffering, poverty, evil in this world?
Given you enough
You know what I just did, guys? I'm going to have to restart that. I didn't have it on. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Here we go.
If you are such a loving, powerful, good God, why do you do nothing about the suffering, poverty, evil in this world?
Do you think you are a good person?
Yes, of course.
Then why, when I have given you enough power, food, money to help others, have you done nothing? Is that a good person?
What can I do? I can barely survive as it is.
And whose fault is that? Have others with less not done more? Have you been such a wise steward of your time, so selflessly generous, so fiscally responsible, or have you squandered it away? I have made you in my image, and yet you convince yourself that you are powerless? You know deep down inside that thousands of people are waiting for you to live up to your potential, and yet you throw it all away. I gave you a back to carry weight, not turn it on them. You think you're angry? I am enraged when I see you squander away your potential where thousands of people are waiting for you to cultivate. If I answered your prayer and got rid of all this evil, have you ever stopped to think that I might just start with you? I let evil persist because I love you. Because I believe in you. I trust that one day you'll stop sinning and that you'll do what is right. Not because it's easy, but because it's the right thing to do. Carry your cross.
TikTok sound.
Yeah, that was really good. That was very powerful.
I think I've been asked questions similar to that before, and I've never been able to answer it, but I thought that was a great thing there.
Yeah. It's a great way to summarize.
Yeah. And there's another side too to the evil things that are going on in our lives and in the world. You wouldn't know what good is if you hadn't seen evil. You wouldn't
That's
know.
very true.
And you wouldn't know what the good times are if you didn't have the bad times. I am thankful for the good times and the bad times because it provides perspective that you wouldn't have otherwise. I think we would be more likely to not take things as seriously and be thankful for things that we actually do have if we didn't have bad times too.
I remember the first time I thanked God for all the bad things that have happened to me in my life. All the physical abuse, verbal abuse, some other type of abuse. I have a hard time saying that one that happened from certain females that were in my life when I was growing up. And I remember that because I was sitting there bawling because it's like, that's something that's hard to be thankful for. But then I realized I wouldn't be who I was and wouldn't be the father I was without going through all that bad stuff too, because I had nobody to show me father figure wise what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, how else was I supposed to figure that out? Because my dad chose drugs over me. He chose drugs over his other kids, my other siblings that will talk to me.
Yeah.
But he chose drugs over all of us. So it's like, how would I have experienced it? How would I have known when I had a single mom that was working all the time too? She was doing everything she could. But how else was I supposed to gain those experiences? I'm not saying everybody needs to get the bad stuff happen to them, but I needed those to be who I am now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't trade any of the bad things for anything else. I wouldn't trade any of the good things for anything else. I mean, everything works together for the good of those who love God. I don't remember the reference on that scripture. But that is really what I truly believe. I've been through a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of bad things, but I wouldn't be the person that I am without them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the other side of that. But I'm totally am in agreement of that video where he's talking about how we have the power to make the change, and God is wanting us to step up and make that change and be that change. And oftentimes we say, oh, well, I can't do that because, and we just give excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And
Throw an excuse right on top of that. Yeah.
There's a Matthew West song. I'll find it. There's a Matthew West song that's along those lines. I'll find at least I think it's Matthew West.
I haven't listened to much of Matthew West.
I love Matthew West. I love
like-
his songs.
Agreed. Matthew West is key.
He is a very talented and anointed singer and songwriter. He writes with a lot of the Christian artists. He's written with Casting Crowns. He's written with a lot of different people.
But not Matthew East, just West.
Or
Yeah.
south, or south.
Yeah.
Right.
Or west. I
We-
thought you said we.
Matthew East. John would smile about that.
Yeah, Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can find that song.
Oh, from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
East? I thought you said west. Sorry, horrible Patrick impersonation. It sounded horrible in my ears. And apparently I had myself turned way down because I couldn't hear myself.
I think it might be the song "Do Something." Let me look at the lyrics.
Yeah. But I like the fact that he brought up, too, that if I started getting rid of all the evil, why wouldn't I start with you, basically? Or I couldn't be
Right.
starting with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Because we all have evil in our hearts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's very eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's like when I saw it, I was like,
Hmm. What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? I need to double check.
I mean, I try to do the right thing.
I don't want to be number one on God's gotcha list.
Yeah.
That's not a good place to be.
Okay, yeah, it's "Do Something." I woke up this morning, I saw a world full of trouble. Now I thought, how did we ever get so far down? And how's it ever going to turn around? So I turned my eyes to heaven. I thought, God, why don't you do something? Well, I just couldn't bear the thought of people living in poverty, children sold into slavery. The thought disgusted me. So I shook my fist at heaven and said, God, why don't you do something? He said, I did. Yeah, I created you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I totally 100% agree with that video. And oftentimes we just don't do something because we feel powerless. We
Yeah.
let the enemy or the situation or whatever's going on have more power over us than our belief in God and the fact that he can use us to do something big.
No.
So, yeah,
Like,
100%.
You reminded me of a story. There was a guy, I was want to say it's in New York City or something. They found it's a suicide letter that they found. He jumped off a bridge into the river or whatnot. But in the letter it said, if one person smiles at me on my walk, I won't jump.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody smiled. Think how big New York City is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
He would be out here. He'd be fine.
We smile at everybody here. Wave.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know you.
Right?
But
Yeah. You make eye contact with some random person. He wave at you.
Yeah, you get this.
Yeah, a lot.
I was like,
the 2-finger wave on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our neighborhood in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes that everybody has a power, and if one person would have used their smile, so smile at people, not creepily, don't go,
Right.
you just smile, hey,
Genuine.
nice little smile and wave.
no, I in high school I had somebody. who they were like friends with friends of mine, but we didn't really know each other, didn't have like classes or anything. But we always passed each other in the hall. There was like a specific hall around like a specific time or whatever, going like class to class. That we always passed each other, and so every day we would always like kind of smile, wave at each other, you know, maybe say hi or whatever. And we became friends on Facebook, and she ended up posting on my page just like I think she did one. I was like, oh, like for like this post for something that I like or appreciate about you, something like that. And she was like, I love that you always smile at me in the hallway. Like it always makes my day because like you never forget to smile at me and like say hi and everything. And I was like, oh,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just a smile could change somebody's entire day from bad to good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or
So.
from day to unday, and that guy, because
Yeah.
that guy said if somebody would have
Yeah.
smiled at him,
Yeah.
he'd still be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah. It really is. And that's why it's very, very important to be open to the Holy Spirit and to listen when He's telling you to do something. Because you don't know. You could be that one person that steps in between somebody and them, making a bad choice. Not just suicide, but any other bad
Yeah.
choice. You could be that one person. So
I think that's part of the reason I wanted to do this podcast anyway, was try to get the good news out there to people, or just make their days.
Right.
yeah.
We talk about Star Trek, whatever, make
Pokemon.
them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, just a simple laugh can make your day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'd be like, all my bosses yelled at me, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Things keep breaking while you have a podcast on. It makes you laugh. And it helps you get through the day.
Yeah.
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 Who knows? Might plant some seeds.
Maybe. Maybe.
The shifty eyes. And Ashley's just like
noticed.
chuckling.
You're still invited anytime. I'm just saying. And that's one thing also. Christians, stop being all hoity-toity. And just because somebody says they're atheist or a witch or all this other stuff doesn't mean you don't talk to them or spend time with them. Because first off, how are you going to do what Jesus wants you to do anyway?
Yeah.
And spread it. You're not going to be able to do any of that. You got to be able to talk to people too. You can't just
Yeah.
alienate. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't alienate people. Stop it.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, there is a difference if somebody is leading you down a dangerous path,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter whether they're a Christian or an atheist or a witch or whatever. If they're leading you down a bad path, you may need to cut ties with that. But
Yeah.
we shouldn't just based on one aspect of a person or a couple aspects of a person just count them out and cut them out of your life. That's not what Jesus did.
Nope. He hung out with the murderers. He hung out with the thieves.
Yeah. Jesus,
Yeah,
Jesus
he did.
didn't hang out with the Christians because there were no Christians.
No, not yet.
Right? So he hung out with everybody else. That means
Yeah.
we should be hanging out with everybody else.
Well, and-
Sure, it's good to hang out with our Christian friends, but
Well, he hung out with the people that the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the religious people of the time, would not
Wouldn't even
would
be
not spend
close.
time with, would not, walk on the same side of the road as them.
yeah.
Yeah. Just like you get into Acts 10, which is a good one too for that, where the Jewish people were freaking out. Oh, Peter, him and 6 other Jewish people went to a Gentile's house. And in their law back then, you couldn't hang out with Gentiles at all. That was like forbidden. And there they are with this Gentile and not Roman Gentiles. And they're sitting there, they preached to him and all that stuff. And they were freaking out. Well, why'd you do this? He's like, well, and he told a story about how can you call something unclean that I have made clean?
Yeah.
So that means on the sacrifice from Jesus was for everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It wasn't just the Jewish people.
Right.
Right. 100% for everybody. And
Cold.
we shouldn't exclude anybody.
I say I have seen many times where it's like sometimes the like most judgmental and like sometimes like the like really just rude, judgmental, like nasty people are sometimes people that go to church every Sunday. And, you know, the nicest, most respectful, kind people are the people who have like tattoos, ride motorcycles, stuff, things that are, you know, quote unquote, right? Like, yeah.
Let me pull
Yeah,
mine
things that
out
are
here and show
quote-unquote, you know,
people.
Represent.
not, you know,
And I ride a
Christian or whatever.
motorcycle.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because in the service industry, sometimes, you know, with like working in fast food or whatever, I feel like we don't deal with it too much. But, you know, sometimes there's been a lot of people that say, you know, a lot of times that Sunday, what would be probably like lunch rush or whatever like that,
Oh,
that after
yeah.
church rush, sometimes they're the worst people because they're so like, yeah, they're rude, they don't, you know, whatever, and it's just, yeah.
That's where people need to ask themselves, if you're going to church, are you worshiping the religion or are you worshiping God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're two different things. Mm-hmm. They may think it's the same thing, but they're two different things.
Yeah.
And that's something, yeah, that's an ambulance.
Did you guys hear sirens?
Yeah.
That's a fire truck.
Who's going by?
Hope
In the
everything's
background.
okay.
Well, wherever they're going to, you know, pray for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, wow. They got all the units going.
Yeah.
They're coming from, they're going to the
Close or
hospital.
something. Yeah.
But yeah, back to that. They got to start asking themselves, are they following the religion or following Christ?
Yeah.
They're two different things. Jesus taught against religion. Straight up taught against it big time, because the Pharisees and Sadducees, they were the religious ones. And look what they were doing. They got rich, they manipulated, they twisted the law into their favor. They did a lot of things that weren't right. And that's part of the reason Jesus was killed, because he was rebuking everything they were doing.
Right.
Yep, and pull the plank out of your eye before you pull the splinter out of your brother's eye. So,
I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
yeah.
It's in the Bible.
Yep. Yep.
Which version? Because I read the NLT, so it's probably
Yeah.
not in the NLT.
Yeah, one of the pastors that I was under actually used to say, "Pull the 2x4 out of your eye before you pull the speck out of your brother's eye." It's I think it's plank and speck.
So it's Matthew 7, apparently.
Yeah.
And it's, how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye, you hypocrite? First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So yeah, there, instead of sitting there going and start trying to preach religion and trying to be all evangelizing, why don't you uncover your own eyes and see what you're doing wrong first?
Right.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the biggest problems in the church, is that Christians often are over on this side doing these things that the Bible clearly says that they shouldn't be doing, and people are seeing them do it, and they're doing it in front of unbelievers, and there's no consistency between what they say they believe and what they are acting out as their beliefs. And then
Yeah.
they're coming over to somebody and saying, because you are this, you know, you are evil, you're going to hell.
Yep.
You know, now I believe that if you don't accept Jesus, you will go to hell. But handling it that way is just the right way to make them say, well, I'm not going to that church. I'm not going to be around those people who are, you know, all they're doing is judging me, and look what they do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you know, it's one of the things that just bothers me so much. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I accidentally cuss. Sometimes I do it on purpose.
Crotchety old bastard.
Sometimes I do it on purpose. You know, sometimes I don't do it on purpose, but I'm just upset and I do it. You know, I don't think I'm perfect, but I try to be consistent. This is what I believe, so this is how I should act. And when I don't act that way, God's usually pretty quick to convict me and say, hey, what are you doing right here? Are you judging this person? Are you, you know, what are you doing? So you can't lead someone to the love of God if you hate what they are.
Yeah.
You have to love them. You don't have to love the sin. You don't have to say, you know, your drunkenness, I love your drunkenness. You don't have to do that. you can say, I love you. Let's get you some help.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the way that it needs to be handled. And I'm sure you've dealt with some of that with people where they see you and they judge you just based on your appearance, and they just assume things about you. And it's not okay. It's not okay at all.
No, it's not okay.
And those people are not showing the love of God. They are not showing the love of Christ, because Jesus came and died for all of us, and we're all screwed up in different ways. And that's okay. We're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect this side of heaven. So we need to get over ourselves.
Yes, for sure. If the AI doesn't pull that out as a clip, I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get myself. That was awesome.
That was
I
good.
loved everything
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm a little taken aback by all that, because it was straight fire and mic drop right
That's all
there.
good. Yeah. Stacy was up there. Preaching.
Preach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all should have said, amen.
Now, I know that verse that I spoke of about the plank and the speck, that's specifically talking about Christian brothers and sisters, not non-Christians. But the same thing applies. If you are in sin and you are doing all these things and you're not taking care of your own stuff, and then you're trying to, handle somebody else's stuff, it's stupid.
Very.
It's stupid. I don't know that there's a better way to say it. I mean, it's duh. You're being a hypocrite. And I've worked at a Christian school that there were great people there that were Christians. Chris's aunt worked there, but there were also people that were hypocritical and mean, and just there was a division between preschool isn't real teaching, and if you're a grade school teacher, you're a real teacher, but a preschool teacher isn't a real teacher. And so the preschool and the grade school were completely separated. And there was a whole bunch of stupid crap that went on like that, the formative years aren't important. I mean, come on now. Yeah, it's teaching.
All I got to say is, from these Wednesday nights that we do here with the kids, I have a whole new respect for elementary and preschool teachers.
Yeah.
Whole new respect.
Yeah, but there was a division. The elementary teachers didn't like the preschool teachers. The preschool teachers didn't like the elementary school teachers. Some of the teachers just yelled at the kids. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff that happened that shouldn't have happened at a school, period. But it was happening in a Christian school. They were not acting Christ-like. They were acting like the world. They were acting worse than the world in a lot of respects. So I know, and I've been in churches where there have been problems with people in leadership doing the same thing. So as a Christian that knows how we're supposed to act based on the Bible, and seeing these behaviors, it sickens me and made me angry and frustrated me. I can't imagine somebody that comes into a church for the first time and sees this stuff going on. Because you see this going on and you're like, well, I don't want that. I don't want that. If this is what your God says to do, then I don't want anything to do with him.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, it's one of those things that just, it gets under my skin, something awful.
I love everything you said. It's great. Also, I'd say definitely watch out for the churches that don't actually teach the Bible, but they teach what the preacher preaches
Yeah.
and his philosophies, not what the Bible teaches.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're always supposed to test the word. So if a pastor is preaching and he's not using the scripture references, which happens, I mean, because it was something that wasn't planned and they know the scripture, but they may not know the reference. We do that.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time.
We do that all the time. But if you don't go back and you don't look at that stuff, then they can be preaching out of context. I mean, the plank and the speck, we used it a little bit out of context, but we did go back and say, hey, this is what it's originally meant for, but it can still be applied to this other situation. And an out of context scripture can be used in a dangerous way to say something that is not what the Bible is saying.
Yep, and people do that all the time, especially when they start throwing questions at Christians, trying to combat the philosophies or whatever. It's like, did you read around that scripture you just gave me to get the whole context of the situation?
Yeah.
Like there was one that I saw somebody threw out on a TikTok. It was a live. It was for that other podcast I bring up, the Help My Unbelief podcast, where he said, well, what about this verse where it says smash babies against the walls? And I'm like, okay, I got to go read this because I don't remember this. And I forget which verse it was, but it was basically Babylon just like conquered Israel, and they were being under torment. And the guy writing this was super ticked off, and would, like, you see his anger. And I'm guessing that's why they kept it, is just to show how angry the people were, because he talked about doing that to the Babylonian babies himself. It was what this guy's thoughts were. It wasn't a command to do that, but the guy on the TikTok was trying to say it was a command. But if you go and read what was going on in that time period, it's just this dude, like, say if we got taken over by somebody, how ticked off we'd be if they treated us horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what was going on.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. The taking scripture out of context and using scriptures in ways that they aren't intended, and it's easy to do it accidentally, but it can be done maliciously. I have seen, I don't remember what church it was at, but at a specific church in Kansas City, I saw them take 3 or 4 different scriptures and they mashed them together and made a new verse.
What?
Yeah. They had water bottles like this that they were putting the scripture on. And it was like 3 or 4 different verses. And they would put like part of the verse, ... another verse, ... another verse. And it was like all smashed together. And then they had some of the references at the bottom, but they didn't have all of the references at the bottom. I had to Google it and look into it, and they were trying to say something totally different. I don't remember exactly what scriptures that they were using or anything, but it was totally different than what the Bible says based on the way they structured those verses. And if you were an unbeliever or a new believer or somebody that has been in church for a long time but hasn't read your Bible, you may not pick up on the fact that you'll see, okay, there's the scripture references, and sometimes valid scripture use will do ... because they're just trying to emphasize a certain part of a scripture. So there are valid reasons to do that because you're just emphasizing this one part, and for whatever reason, there are valid reasons to do that. But if a verse is taken out of context and then molded with other verses to say something completely different, that's totally against the Bible, totally against God.
How manipulative is that? That is just wrong on
Right.
so many levels to manipulate people like that.
Right.
'Cause then you're trying to get your point across by trying to go biblical with it, but you're manipulating what this text says to match your thoughts and ideals, which is completely wrong.
Right.
Yeah, no, I was like, many times now, if I'm like really questioning something, I'll go to the Bible to see what it says and read around that. I'm not going to manipulate what I read to match what I say. It's like, okay, if
Right.
I'm totally wrong and it's telling me I'm wrong, well, then I'm wrong.
Right. Absolutely.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I get it. I get it when somebody comes into a church and they see all of this stuff and they're like, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Christian and being a Christian so long and getting saved when I was very young, I've seen a lot of crazy crap in churches. So when you're in a good church, you see the difference. But no church is perfect. Every church is full of people. People are imperfect. There are going to be problems. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be things that are not quite right at every church. But if the people that are running the church are seeking God and actually seeking his will, then those problems are not going to be the big ones.
Yeah.
They might misquote a scripture once in a while accidentally, but it's not going to be this malicious manipulation of God's word and God's people and everybody else.
Like you see the super churches doing that crud all the time, where they manipulate it and just to get, it seems like they just want to get more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And
I'm going to keep a few names out of it.
Right.
Big names.
yeah. I mean, and that happens too. Then that happened. That happened a lot in the 80s and 90s with some of the televangelists.
Yeah.
There were some
On TV.
scams and stuff
If you
going
send
on.
your money now,
Yeah.
the Lord will bless you. It's like smack you is what needs to happen.
Yeah. There were some of that too in the 80s and the 90s. It was just a different style of manipulation.
Yeah, then they go and buy brand new Corvettes or Lamborghinis. It's like, oh, this is a tax write-off, And I needed this for my wife to drive to daycare to the grocery store. It's like, no, you're just taking money from people.
Yeah.
If you send your money now, we'll be able to get fuel for our jet so we can go to a different cut. You're like, what?
Have you seen that one? I forget who he is, but he's been popping up like all over Facebook and TikTok. Because the dude just looks straight up like evil looking in his face. And he does it. He has his own private jet, and he just really manipulative. And then somebody posted up a deal where it's like, I don't know if you've seen that, seen a video where they're basically worshiping some kind of owl deity. These high up politicians and celebrities are, where they got this kind of burning a bonfire, and there's this owl deity statue that they're worshiping, and it sounds just like this preacher that looks straight up like I'm gonna say he looks demonic in his face, like majorly. Then one point he's sitting there talking to somebody, like trying to like be all biblical. Then he just starts like going straight up evil on this person.
No, I don't.
I should send you that video because it sounds just like this guy.
Gosh, I would be terrified to intentionally mislead somebody or pull them astray or, anything like that. There's that, the scripture about children, it's better to tie a millstone around your neck
Yep.
than to harm one of the children. I don't remember exactly what the reference is or the wording, but I think that can be applied to adults and just anybody that doesn't know their Bible, because when you are born again, you are a baby Christian, and until you've matured, you are on the milk of the gospel, the easy to understand things, just God's love and the simple concepts, and until you're mature and you're on the harder topics and learning to understand everything else, you would be like a child. So I think it can be applied there too. If you're intentionally misleading God's people, oh man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to face that kind of wrath.
Right.
Yeah. That's a scary place to be. I don't want to be on that side of God.
Yeah.
I saw what he did in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's written down.
Well, that apparently you could. They think they found the wife where she like got turned into a statue. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, the picture is crazy because you can see where there's a woman there
Yeah.
when you look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for hell, something popped in my mind. It's like the reason I think people talk up hell so much to being such a scary place is think of who it was created for. It wasn't created for people.
Yeah.
It was created for angels that were fallen,
Yeah.
that chose to follow Satan. That was
That was really loud.
that chose to follow Satan. So they were created for beings that were not meant to die.
Yeah. Well, and I think the biggest thing to me that is scary about hell is separation from God. Because even here, we have a connection to God. Even before you get saved, God can reach into your life and can touch you. But in hell, you're going to have eternal separation from God. And I don't think people understand what they're giving up because they don't even realize God's hand in their life.
Yeah. One thing I saw something it was talking about hell is being separated from God. So God is light. He also is the breath. So there's going to be darkness. There's going to be no air. that talks about the lake of fire. So, it's probably like lava and stuff or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's just a horrible place. But,
Eternal torment, wailing and gnashing of teeth. And I think it's King James is what they say.
Yeah.
There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So it doesn't sound like a pleasant place.
but something like personally, I think people get wrong is they think that devil's in charge of hell, that Satan's in charge of hell, and all his demons are in charge of hell. It's like, no, that's where they're meant to go for torture.
Yeah.
Punishment.
Yeah.
That isn't a place for them to go and rule and torture souls and all. It's like, no, that's meant where they're supposed to go for eternal damnation.
Well, and the other thing is that even the devil isn't completely cut off from God.
Nope.
And
It talks about he goes to heaven. Like when he
Right.
went to talk about Job.
yeah, but even being cast out of heaven, the devil still is in God's presence, not in the same way we are when we're worshiping, but God is still present in this world, and the devil's going to be cut off from God, and all the demons, the fallen angels, they're all going to be cut off from God, and my understanding is that they have not ever experienced that. They've always been in the presence of God in some capacity. So that's probably going to be torture for them just to be separated from God.
Yeah. I never thought of that either.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I to me, there are so many reasons to follow God as to not follow God. I love God with all my heart. But there are so many reasons why, man, I don't want to lead people astray. I don't want to even, accidentally lead somebody astray. I don't want to be the reason somebody goes to hell. I don't want to be the reason somebody walks out of a church and doesn't fulfill their purpose in God. You could be that person that says the wrong thing and scares somebody away from church. They may come back to the fold, but maybe they'll miss their calling because they weren't in that church where they were supposed to be, because you said, go get a haircut. Why do you have tattoos? Stop smoking, instead of saying, hey, welcome in, let's love on this person. Let's help them understand that God loves them. Let's help them make the changes in their lives that they need to make to be healthier, to follow God's will for their life. Let's not condemn them before, they can reach that purpose.
Yeah. There's a song that goes, church should be more like a hospital.
Oh, yeah, that's Matthew West.
Is that Matthew West?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with
Yeah.
that. It should look more like a hospital where you got people of all kinds of that need help, just mental whatever that need help, and
think-
not some place where everybody's just in full suits all the time and wearing the best clothing that you could possibly
Right.
afford.
I think that's truth be told. I'm gonna.
It is.
Is it? Is it?
yeah,
truth be told?
100%.
Be told.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I love Matthew West.
Great song. Go look it up, people. Good
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should look more like a hospital. It shouldn't look like a place where we're all fancy, get up, getting ready to go to some
Yeah.
1920s party with the Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
It was like one of my greatest, my favorite things to tell people about, kind of like to describe our church, is it was last summer. There was a gal that was in there wearing a Sturgis shirt with a half-naked chick on it, and nobody batted an eye. Nobody told her to leave. Nobody told her to get out. I'm like, that's how it should be.
I saw that shirt and I was like,
Did ya?
I did a double take. I was like, is that? Yeah, that's definitely what's on that shirt.
Yeah, but she was up there and worshiping with us. So it's like,
yeah.
I'm not, great, cool, awesome.
There was also somebody that had a shirt on that when it like bunched up, it looked like it had a cuss word on it, but it didn't. You see a lot from the back when you're running slides. But yeah, there was somebody, I don't remember what it looked like it said. I think it might have been the F word is what it said. But it was a combination of 2 or 3 words, and the shirt bunched up while they were, doing this and stuff. And I was like, man, is somebody wearing a shirt that says that? I was more amused than anything else.
Yeah.
But
I also go, man, they're brave.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then later I saw that person walk by, and with the shirt hanging normally, it was like 3 words that were bunched together to look like a cuss word, but it was kind of amusing for me because I was like, oh my gosh.
The F word? Fire truck?
Yes.
Fudge? It's a funny story about the word fudge. When I was little, my mom had her friends over and they were hanging out in the living room. I'm thinking they were getting a little liquored up, whatever. I said the word fudge. She heard the other word. And I got 30 minutes of Dawn dish soap in my mouth.
Oh.
That was the worst. I bring that up like every chance I get. She's like, no, you said that. I'm like, Mom, I said fudge. You made me do Dawn dish soap. I'd rather do the whole eat the bar of soap thing than sit there and hold Dawn dish soap in your mouth for 30 freaking minutes.
See, my dad, whenever I would cuss, he made me take a bite out of the dish soap and swallow it. And it made me so sick. Yeah, it made my throat swell up one time.
Was it like actual soap, or was it the old school, actual soap or detergent?
It was actual soap. It was some Colgate product because he worked at Colgate at the time. So it was some.
I didn't know they made soap.
Oh yeah.
Well, they make toothpaste.
Yeah, they used to make not just the toothpaste and the mouthwash, but they made bars of soap. Irish Spring is a Colgate product.
Oh.
They used to make hairbrushes because he got hairbrushes too. We used to have all kinds of Colgate products when he worked there.
Stacy, you fed the fur babies, right?
No, because we left before.
Do you
5.
Do you want Juan to do that?
If he wants to. If they're bothering him, he might want to.
I'm sure they're
Feed me.
I'm sure
It
they're
is
bothering.
time.
Right, it's
Yeah.
past time.
Yeah.
They definitely, I say every, whenever we're gaming, if they hadn't been fed yet, you can tell because they'll be like, hey, like they'll sit by their bowls of food, or they'll just be like kind of running around a bit extra and stuff like, come on.
Yeah. Aria was pretty adamant that she needed her midday snack. And I'm like, dude, it's not the weekend. It's not the weekend yet. It's Friday. Mommy's just working from home.
See, my dogs, they wake up with me every morning and they expect a treat right away in the morning. That's what I normally do. So I wake up and I'm like, oh, you guys happen to see me? And they're just sitting there like, all right, where's the treat? Where's the treat?
Yeah, with the cats, we waited an hour after we got up before we fed them when they were kittens, so that they would not be accustomed to getting food right away. That way they wouldn't wake us up. It works really well with cats. If you feed them on a schedule and they know what time they're going to be fed, then they don't bug you unless if they're, they're on their schedule. If you're a little off, then they're definitely very adamant about it.
I think eventually we'll get a cat. I think I got Shawnee convinced. Right now, her stipulation is I got to have her office done first. So I need to get Ronan's room done so I can get her office done, and then I can get a cat. Probably after my 2 dogs, at least 2 of the dogs are done and gone. But yeah, maybe the Jack Russell. I don't know how the Jack Russell would handle cats. She used to have a best friend that was a cat. And now Shawnee's all worried about what she would do now. I'm like, she had a best friend that was a cat for a long time.
If you get a cat that likes dogs, it probably won't be an issue. Because most dogs, unless if they're aggressive to cats, if the cat isn't afraid of dogs and doesn't run from dogs, they're just like, oh, it's just a cat.
Have you seen the meme where there's a cat, like, it's got to be a stray cat walking, the guy's got his German Shepherd, and someone's doing a voiceover for the cat, and the cat goes, oh, German Shepherd, huh? Welcome to the Allied Forces, and jumps up and does like a kick and kicks the dog right in the face. Freaking hilarious.
That's funny.
Funny.
I swear a lot of martial arts was derived from cats on how they do stuff.
You may not be wrong.
I would not be surprised.
Because there's another one where it's like a mom and her daughter are walking and their pet cat's walking behind them. This cat's a chunk. Like, he's good size. Then a car goes driving by and he does like this all of a sudden like flip backwards and like at the car, and then turns around and keeps walking with them.
I've seen that. That flip is crazy.
Yeah, it's good. It's like
insane.
Mortal Kombat stuff going on
That's
there.
funny.
Very acrobatic cat.
That's funny.
We've done a lot of talking. I hope we haven't like kept you guys from talking.
No,
No, it's fine.
I'm just listening. And just
That pops in my head. It's like, am I being rude by talking so much?
The thing with podcasts is you have to be assertive if you want to talk, because
True.
otherwise you're gonna get looked over a little bit. And some of the podcasts that I listen to, people criticize it when guests don't get a lot of mic time. But the guests in that particular podcast are basically told, hey, this is a news and commentary podcast. Jump in if you have something to say. And some of them, the first time that they're on there, they don't say a whole lot because they're not used to the back and forth of it. And then other people jump in and they say all kinds of stuff, and then the audience criticizes because you didn't let this person talk, and it's not the matter of letting the person talk. It's just the person didn't speak up or didn't have something to say on that topic or whatever the case may be.
right. Yeah, I mean, the first time I was on, I feel like I didn't probably talk just quite as much and everything, just because I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, this is but
Just a conversation.
It's
Yeah.
a conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
Like your mom was super nervous at first, but then she realized it's just a phone conversation we were having. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
went great.
Yeah, she told me, she's like, I'm so nervous, and then she did fine.
Yeah, I thought Betty was awesome. except
Debbie.
Debbie was awesome. I knew that was wrong as soon as I said it. I'm like, Betty?
I can't wait
Like, I don't know if
to
you saw my eyes, like kind of go up and like back of my head a little bit. Like, wait, that ain't right. Sorry, Debbie. I apologize. And I did have to ask how to spell your name because I was misspelling it when I was writing descriptions for stuff. So thankfully, I got that figured out.
I can't wait to hear that conversation between Debbie
Oh
and Stacy.
man,
Jake copied the wrong name. I'll be like, oh, this is going to be rich.
I apologize. I
Let's go.
apologize. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
1,000 apologies.
that's okay. She'll take it just
She'll
fine.
laugh. Yeah. She'll just give Stacy some poo, and then the poo will get your way. So
That's okay. My name is misspelled all the time, and you misspell it sometimes in the description
Okay,
too.
is it a Y or an IE?
it's a Y.
Okay, I went back and I changed a bunch of them, I think, yesterday. Because I'm like, wait a second. This ain't
Yeah.
right. Like, I think I was doing the IE because your name on our Discord is Stackymon.
Oh yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
subconsciously I was just adding
Yeah.
the IE into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's a nickname that my nieces and nephews gave me.
Yeah.
That's my Pokemon name.
Oh. Is it an N? Stackymon. Okay, apparently I can't read, or my brain just adds letters to words.
Yeah, Stackymon.
It's
yeah.
that Litchfield education. That's what it is.
Yeah. But no, it's funny because when I was a kid, there weren't a lot of things that were with the STACY because most of the boys had that spelling and the girls had the IE. So there weren't a lot of things with my name on it spelled correctly. So I got stuff all the time with the IE on it. And when I taught preschool, I had parents spell my name all kinds of different ways. STACIE, STACI, STA, I don't know. Some of them spelled it with the Y. I don't remember. There were like 5 different spellings. I kid you not.
I apparently prefer IE.
yeah, I feel like I lean more towards IE too normally for spelling Stacy. I'm sure I probably spelled your name wrong multiple times on accident.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and I don't care at all. And somebody pointed it out to me though that it was misspelled in one of the descriptions because she was like, one of my mom's friends said, "Did I spell your name wrong?" I said, "No, that's spelled wrong in one of the whatever description it was."
I got to go to YouTube and change all that too. I only changed it on the podcast stuff the other day. I didn't even think about going to YouTube.
I prefer spelling her name STAQE. Stacy. I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
He's just messing
I'm
with
just
you.
yeah.
Some math equation. It's Bob.
Right.
808 Bob.
110001111001.
Could you imagine if somebody actually did that? Put their kid's name and that code.
In binary?
Yeah, in
It'd
binary.
be horrible. It'd be so long. so long.
Gosh.
All right, sign your name for this. Give me like 5 minutes.
Right.
please, guys.
Can you come back after a while?
I need a half,
I'll be here.
I need a half an hour, okay?
Was that like Futurama? Have you seen Futurama, Chris?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The episode where they're at the robot church 010001
Oh, yeah.
110.
I love that show.
Yeah.
It's a great show. I haven't seen the new ones though. I think there were new ones coming out or
Yeah.
they came out.
Yeah, I think they've been released. I'm not sure.
They have been released, I believe.
Okay.
I just had a thought. Imagine all the people that heard us like talking Bible stuff, Christian stuff, and all of a sudden, oh, they're talking Futurama now.
I know.
Their heads exploded.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we talked Pokemon. We've talked Star Wars. We've talked Stargate.
Just wait until we bring like Yu-Gi-Oh up or what's the other one where it's Magic the Gathering or something like that up. That's gonna blow some heads off. Oh wait, blow some heads up, not off, up. Sorry. Wow. Might lose our good rating after that one. That crotchety old bastard.
That was so funny.
Goodness.
It was so funny when that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
I was
We're
just
going all out on that crotchety old.
I did. And then I realized it right afterwards, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to ruin the clean rating. Just because I can't remember.
Oh, my name is.
Oh my gosh.
that would be so horrible.
So ridiculous. Yeah, nobody'd be able to pronounce your
I
name.
would
Good luck with
no, I would not want to have to do this. That is not cool.
that. Yeah.
That'd be one way to learn binary, though. Be forced to just to spell your own name.
True.
Oh, good grief.
See, we deal with binary at my work, but it's mainly for counting.
Oh, okay.
It's like, well, of course, 0 is 0, but then you add a 1 in there, and that means 1, and then you add a 1, 1, that's 4, and then it just keeps going on and on. We count with it, which is confusing as well.
I've got a fun story with binary and that kind of thing. When I was in college, for background, I went to college for elementary education, and we had a special needs teacher. And the first day, she's like, "Look, I'm going to open all of your minds. You're all going to understand the confusion and the frustration that children go through when they have a learning disability." Because she said, "I have had learning disabilities in the past, and I've learned how to overcome them." And she had some serious learning disabilities. Really hard for her to do a lot of things when she was growing up. So one of the first things that she did is she put a horizontal line and a dot above it, and she's like, "What number is this?" Well, everybody in the room looked at her like she was insane. And horizontal line with a dot.
The dot. Okay. Sorry.
And as she let us all basically look at it and get frustrated and wonder what the deal was. That's part of the Egyptian counting system.
Oh.
So every time we were in her class, she would bring up some new way of counting or some new way. Usually it was counting. And you go through that frustration and the anxiety. You're like, I have no idea how to answer this. I don't know what she's talking about. It was such a great learning example or lesson, and such a great teacher because she went through all that stuff. She knew exactly how it felt. It was such a neat class. We did binary, hexadecimal, Egyptian, a bunch of others.
All I gotta say is I'm thankful to the calculator app on computers because they can take regular numerical and turn it to hexadecimal and vice versa. Because I hated figuring out how to do that in my own head and took those classes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that the calculator app on Windows could do that.
Yeah, you go to I forget which setting it is. It's like scientific or something.
Yeah, it's probably
yeah.
the scientific setting. I didn't know that was on there. That's cool. I knew that there was a scientific setting. I just didn't know you could do that with
A programmer setting. Sorry, programmer.
That would make sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
We use that a lot to figure out our hex at work.
Oh,
because
sure.
We'll do like everybody's got badge numbers and stuff, and we'll convert that to hexadecimal. So our program uses that to put to their level of security in the program and what they can change.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did a little bit of hex editing. Gosh, it's been I was probably like 14, so we're looking at not quite 30 years ago. There was a program that I used on the computer that was a game. It was a virtual pets. It was called Pets, Petz, and it was dogs and cats, and it had like a certain number of breeds. Well, you could add other breeds by adding like textures and changing the hex codes for how the dogs or cats looked. Somebody added rabbits. They've turned the cats into rabbits, so they had long ears and they hopped around like rabbits. So I played around with that a little bit, but I didn't understand what I was doing at all. I had to use a converter that was online to adjust the settings that I wanted to adjust. I'm having a little bit of a drainage problem. So, yeah, hex editing is, it's out there.
Well, I think we're over 2 hours right now.
Holy moly.
Surprisingly. It doesn't feel that long, but yeah, it's over 2 hours.
This was supposed to be a short one.
Yeah, because I got to wake up real early too. But whatever, I'm fine with it. I usually run pretty good on 3 hours of sleep, to be honest. I thank the military for that one. That's a skill learned, not
Makes sense.
born with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, some people might be born with that, not me. I used to sleep all the time. But as guests, what are your guys' final thoughts on everything that was talked about today? Or
I think a lot
put you
of
on the spot.
good, a lot of good points were definitely made, by Stacy earlier with her, kind of preaching moment.
Hey, it was good. I liked it.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'll have to take your word for it.
But just everyone. We say this constantly, but it's just like everyone just needs to show love to each other, just respect each other and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is it. Yeah.
It's definitely my goal.
Yeah. That's one thing that bothers me on like social media is everyone's like, why don't you just love each other? And they all just hate.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to be loving, and then they just hate other people. It's like, why don't you just do what you say you're going to do and love each other? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that on both sides of the spectrum where
Oh, yeah.
where somebody will say, stop using hate speech, and then they'll turn around and they'll
Use hate speech.
do exactly the same thing. You need to die because you believe this. And it's like, well, can't we just agree to disagree and be a little bit nicer to each other? I mean, we can disagree on things. That's okay.
I think that's part of the reason I'm against the two-party political system now. Or I don't think I was when I was younger, because I didn't understand, but now it's like everybody divides so much. And it's like, oh, I hate you because you don't think the way I do. It's like, why can't you come together, have a conversation, come to a mutual agreement on something or a mutual understanding
Yeah.
and not hate each other?
Right.
That's why I hate labels so much. I hate it that people get labeled in all kinds of different ways because labels cause so much division.
Oh, yeah.
Labels cause so much division. It's like, well,
Gentile.
you're not like me. You have this label, I have this label, so we can't be friends. We can't talk. We can't be nice. I hate labels. Now, I understand that sometimes you have to have some kind of a word that describes something that is technically a label or a name for something. I get that. But we go so far to the other extreme that we just cause more and more and more division, and it drives me bananas.
Yep.
Just the division that's caused by labels.
I don't know why, but you just reminded me of a rabbit hole I went down today. I was like, or maybe it was what I said to you, Chris, when I'm like, you Gentile. I got curious. It's like, how are there Jews and Gentiles if everybody came from Noah's line, right? Apparently, it's because the Jewish people came from Jacob, and the others were considered the Gentiles. Because Jacob, when he wrestled God, then God gave him the name Israel. So then the Israelites came from Jacob. Just thought I'd throw that out there because I was confused. It's like, well, how are there Gentiles and Jews? Well, it's because the Jews came from Jacob's lineage. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. Random thing. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone got any final thoughts, final words of wisdom? Wants to sing a song, do a dance, whatever?
I just say be nice to each other. You know?
Well, see, I can't. Maybe that's what I'll call this one because the last one I did, I was like, "Love is love," or what I call it, something along those lines. Or God, he is love. I put it, he is love. So I can't do that with this one. That one was with you too, Ash.
Yeah.
He is love. So maybe I'll say, be nice.
Be nice or nah, maybe.
Show kindness. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love above all.
Yeah,
That might
that's
work.
good.
That might work.
Yeah.
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 Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Yeah. Just do it. Okay. Shia LaBeouf?
LaBeouf. Yeah.
LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
All right. Well, that's it. Chris, you want to lead us out?
Of course I do. Everybody ready?
Away.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time that we had together. Please continue to bless us and love on us in your holy and amazing name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, everybody, that's my little tidbit. Thank you all for watching or listening. I love every one of you, even though I don't know you. I still love you. If you want to be on the podcast, shoot me an email at crocs@gmail.com or put a comment like on the YouTube or Rumble. I haven't been on there in a bit, though. But you can leave a comment down. I'll get a hold of you. We have the ability to phone call you in like we did Debbie, which worked out great. So, yeah, we'd love to have you. Love to hear your thoughts, your comments. You don't have to be a Christian to be on this podcast. We love everybody. We like to have everybody on here. So, this is a good conversation. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
TikTok as well.